What up, everybody? We are live right now with my boy Jeremy Scippio.
Cheer.
Now you can't see him right now because it's all about me right now. But let's just start this off with a real quick comedy clip from Jeremy Scippio before we get started, people. And let's do this shit. Yeah. Why is it not letting me share the screen? What is going on?
Oh.
What?
It's a link. It's not public. Maybe that's why.
No. My computer is not doing what it's supposed to do. What the fuck is going on?
Sure, because it's a private link. You think that matters?
No. The app is not working. My app is not working. Fuck. Come on, man. Oh, dude, this is the last thing I need right now.
Technology.
So fucking weird. Technology's a bitch. I bet you I probably have to restart my computer. Fuck, man. Come on, dude. So now it's showing you in the... Oh, this is fucking stupid. If anybody's watching right now, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to share the screen, and the shit's not fucking working right now. Fuck. This is one of those things where...
Anybody have celebrate a quarantine?
Yeah. My screen's not sharing now. Fucking perfect. This is exactly what I fucking need. If I ended it right now, then it's going to want me to create a brand new... Fuck, this is so stupid, dude. I was really wanting to show some videos, and then now if I...
You can't show any videos?
It's not letting me. Wait a minute. If I do this, will it let me?
If you do this, will it give you consent?
Yeah, it's not doing it. Man, fuck. This is not how I want to start the podcast, man. This is some fucking bullshit. All right. Well, I guess we're not going to be able to share a fucking screen or show any videos now.
Dang, the whole time? Oh, because we have to start over.
Yeah, because if I end it right now, that means whoever's watching is going to get lost, and then I'm going to have to create a brand new live link. It won't. This serves me right from not, like, restarting my shit. Anyways, let's just start the fucking intro. It's a fucking bullshit, man.
Public Yemeni No.1.
All right, bitches. Technical difficulties. Can't share a fucking screen. You know, this is the first time I started the podcast not high. I'm going to get high right now, but I started it not high. Now my fucking computer's high or some shit. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. But anyways, my beard looks like shit. My face is puffy because I've been eating a lot of dumbass fucking bar food at the clubs and not eating healthy. I had a really great show at the Roosevelt Theater, Hollywood Roosevelt. I had to close it out. I wasn't supposed to close it out. Jamie Kennedy came in there and was like, I don't want to close it out. So he bumped me, did 10 minutes, and then he left. And then I had to close out that show, which was kind of cool. And I had a really good set. I had a decent set considering... You know, when you close out a show, especially if it's a long show, people at the end of the show are kind of like beaten up a bit, you know? But I had a good set. But then I fucked up. I fucked up really hard. I felt so confident that I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this new joke that's half-baked that is very fucking racist. And I was going to do it in L.A., and that was a fucking big mistake. big fucking mistake. I ended the show making everyone in there feel like shit, you know? But it wasn't, whatever. In the end, it is what it is. I learned my lesson. Don't ever fucking do that again. I know not to fucking do that, but I did it. And, but yeah, so that's it. That's what my weekend has been like. Bunch of fucking shows, eating like shit, and fucking up the end of my sets. I had a good set last night at Comedy Chateau, though. But let's introduce my guest, the hilarious Jeremy Scippio, everybody. Put your hands together for Jeremy Scippio. I gotta. If you're leaning back, I gotta just adjust the camera. No, you're good. I just gotta adjust the camera a little bit so that I can at least adjust it in here. You hear that static?
Yeah, I hear that static. Sound like an old school Nintendo game.
You still hear that?
I still hear it.
Is it your phone? Maybe because your phone is close to the... Bro, all we have is technical difficulties right now.
On the episode that I'm on.
Yeah. It's because you're black.
Nah, man, we don't do technical difficulties.
How you been, brother? How have you been, my man?
Hey, I've been great, man. Life is dope so far.
Yeah. Dope in what way?
I mean, man. Well, first and foremost, man, I haven't been sick in over a year.
That's good.
Because you guys are keeping your hands to yourself.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah, well, it got to be a little something, man. I mean, even the common cold. I mean, like literally, I've been great. I mean, I've been feeling great. Yeah, just moving up and up. You know what I mean? Upgrading specific parts of life.
Hey, hit your microphone. Tap it. Okay. Why does that sound echoey? Do it again. Yeah. All right. You haven't been sick in a while, huh?
Nah, man. Not since before March 2020. I've been feeling great.
Hey, talk closer to the mic.
Okay. Yeah.
Closer.
Closer. I don't want to eat the mic.
Hold on. Keep talking.
Yeah. What's going on right there, baby? Yeah.
Check. Okay, that's better.
All right. Cool.
All right. So you haven't been sick in a while?
Yeah, no, man. I have asthma too, which makes me high risk, and I haven't had any issues. Just in general, like I said, I think it's because the nation as a whole has been more sanitized. So
you think that's what it is?
It has to be somewhat.
I haven't been sick in a really long time, bro. Mm-hmm. I never get sick though, because I think I really take care of myself. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
I work.
Sounds like we're talking shit about people. It sounds like we're talking shit about people.
Yeah.
We're bragging.
All you people having a hard time with this makes me feel better. I feel really strong about myself. Appreciate that, guys. Thanks for giving me a reason for feeling strong, because I do. Yeah, man. This whole fucking pandemic thing's fucking crazy. I think the craziest thing about this pandemic thing is just how, not about people getting sick or dying, it's about people fucking losing their shit, bro. Mm-hmm. Losing discipline, especially. You know?
Well, I think people interpret information differently, especially when you're getting different types of news every day. You know what I mean? I mean, we witnessed it during the Trump campaign, when literally every week it was like a different emotion that was evoked over some random stuff that was said or whatever, and I feel like we witnessed that this past year, but I feel like we're finally reaching that light side, and people are no matter what. I'm not even talking about like the pandemic part of it, but just the idea of like, storing and preparing for a moment. It's like you're saving, like if you're saving up money and then you get a chance to actually use that money you've been saving or whatever, resources, or just mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like just a clearer day, and then also being grateful for what you have or had, and not realizing what you had until it was gone. So,
man, I think you're right. I don't know, man. I just feel like it's making a lot of people who already have the ability to be strong, it made them stronger.
Yeah.
And then the people who already had the ability to just live in weakness, it made them weaker, man.
Yeah, well, are you talking about mentally or are you talking about just day-to-day stuff?
Mainly mentally.
Mentally?
I think mentally, both mental, physical, everything. I think it really fucking made some people. I know people, Jeremy. I used to be in improv. You know what I mean?
We were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah, I used to be in improv, and that's how I started comedy. And I love these people. I love them to death, especially in the Detroit area. They're family to me, you know. But they live in an echo chamber of perpetuating weakness. So my point is that if somebody comes in and says, "Oh no, I'm hurt, I'm scared," everyone comes in and goes, "Oh no, that's okay. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to have anxiety. It's okay to, oh no, you're in a safe space. Everything's gonna be okay." Whereas I think stand-up comedians, especially the ones that like really good at what they do, or like, you know, we are lone rangers, right? Instead of sitting there in an echo chamber with people assuring us that our weakness is okay, we go, fuck that.
Yeah.
This weakness needs to go. I need to stop being this little fucking bitch. So the thing is, like, there's two schools of thought, right? And I have some of my friends that I came up with in improv, not all of them. I mean, the ones I'm really tight with, they're go-getters, man. They, you know, they got, but there is a group of them within the community that just live within this echo chamber of making you feel okay with staying inside and doing nothing and being scared.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, both schools of thought are for the advancement of human beings. You know what I mean? Like, everybody can't be one thing. There's, you know, whenever faced with an obstacle, our two interactions are fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else mentioned freeze was the third one. But fight or flight. Both it taps into something more primal. And both schools of thought are literally for the survival of our entire species.
So you're saying they both need to exist?
Both need to exist, need to coexist. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was a herd of us and we were attacked by something like as physical and direct as a bear,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Maybe like 5 of them jump up and fight that bear. You know what I'm saying? The rest of them go in the cave and wait until we finish fighting that bear. You know what I'm saying? But to misunderstand that, like, you shouldn't be trying to convince the non-bears, the non-bear
fighters, right?
Yeah, because that means the bear gonna come get you wherever you're at. You know what I'm saying? If you're just a hider, you know what I'm saying?
That's a very
and
good
if we
point.
all fought the bear, this is an analogy on the spot, but it's the whole mentality behind it.
That's a pretty good analogy, though.
Yeah,
I like that.
And you know, I understood that part immediately, but
Right.
you know, having these conversations with so many people, who minds already made up off of limited information, and then they say that that's science, and I'm saying, like, science is not complete ever. Science is research, which is continuing forever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, literally, like, every year is new discovery. Every new information changes all the old information. You know what I'm saying? And if you get new information, you should acknowledge it as such. It doesn't make you dumb for having
Or a
the
flip
information.
flopper.
Or flip, you know what I mean? It's just saying, hey,
Right.
let me add this to my scientific research. It's called an inference. You know what I mean? Inference. It's like it's a conclusion or a summary. It's like that last part. You know, when you remember in school when you write an essay and the last paragraph is called a conclusion. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. In science, it's an inference. You know what I'm
So
saying?
a conclusion is called an inference?
In science. Yeah.
In science.
Yeah, I'm not a
Okay.
scientist or anything. I just remember,
fuck me neither.
Yeah,
But
I just remember shit from like 4th grade. That's it. I know I sound smart, but I just be bullshitting. But no.
But you're trying to make a point with this, though.
Well, it's just, when it comes to the mentality, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, and I don't impose anything upon any person. It's just the idea. It's just like, if you see the global picture, then you shouldn't be.
Okay, so
affecting people
your
negatively.
analogy, I like it. Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
Basically, what you're saying is that we need the yin and the yang.
Yes.
Right. There's a balance.
Yeah.
You can't have everybody be these hard charging, alpha, rugged individuals, you know, paving ways. You also are going to need the gatherers. You're going to need the people that sit in the back. Probably, maybe they don't have the muscle or the fortitude to go fight a bear, but they have the intelligence and the compassion to keep a community together.
Mm-hmm. And it's working on multiple levels. It's not just, it's not as black and white as that. But when you have, one trying to be the other or convince the other one that they're wrong and all that stuff, that's when you get, a lot of this confusion. You know what I mean? Which confusion is the weakness. You know what I'm saying? The confusion is what allows, whatever outside force or enemy or whatever. I don't want to go spiritual, but that's what allows it to seep
infiltrate.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, fine. So basically what you're saying is you're going to have people that are go-getters.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have weak-ass cucks. Okay, that's basically what you're boiling it down to. You're boiling it down to, you got people that are going to be like, yo, I got this shit. And then be other people that are just going to take it up the ass.
Those people
and be
are
like,
good.
Hey,
Look.
I'm taking it up the ass for the community.
But those people are good at something, just not the same thing.
No. But here's the point.
Well, yeah.
Here's the point I'm making.
Don't make me defend cucks. It's a terrible position to be in.
I really do. Got to figure out this audio thing, though. Let me see here. I probably got to turn this up here. I just don't want to fuck people. Anyways, here's the problem that I have, okay?
Okay.
Back in the day, when we were talking about this analogy about fighting the bear and hiding in the cave, right? Mm-hmm. Back in the day, those pussies that ran into the fucking cave didn't have the internet to fucking put everything else on blast because they're scared. You know?
That's what they're good at.
But my point is that like now the people that are the most scared are the most vocal now.
Yeah. And
they have a bigger megaphone to fucking say what they're trying to say. Possibly. I almost feel like, a lot of them are the ones that are controlling everything that's going on right now in terms of like creating a standard of like righteousness. Like this is how you have to be if you're going to do comedy,
Yeah. I think, so, I'm originally, as my mother say, like, so I did a visual art. Like I went to a performing arts school, whatever. My mother used to say, like, that's your real talent. You know what I mean? But, like painting, drawing, and sculpting or whatever. One of the things I learned in art was how art as a whole is kind of revolving. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, when they were like fine art, they were like making human beings very, very detailed. You know what I'm saying? Like super detailed, to the point where it's like you can only draw the human body so many ways, or, when you break down the anatomy and you get it like perfect. You know what I'm saying? Then Picasso. You know what I'm saying? Picasso
all fucked up.
Yeah. Like it was just like
they said he was going crazy because he kept licking his. He would always lick his brush in between, and the paint had lead in it. And then some people say that's kind of what drove him to be so.
I mean, it could be something to that. Shoot, I grew up in a school full of asbestos, so I understand. I'm fucked up too.
And your whole school, they're all comedians. Everyone out of that school came out to be comedians.
Well, you know what is interesting about that is I went to a performing arts school, which, I was around so many different personality types. And, even as a kid, you thought like, man, this is weird. But then you think, oh, when I'm an adult, it's going to change. But it's only gotten more so. Every environment I walk into, from moving to Hollywood to being around comics who are more eclectic than any bunch of people. So, yeah, I'm always been around these type of people.
Yeah.
Almost forever.
Me too. Yeah. I gravitate towards those people. But anyways, to finish your point.
But yeah, Rembrandt was, the master of detail, and then you had Picasso, which was the exact opposite. Picasso could do what Rembrandt did, but Picasso, that's what I say about art is you're going to have these periods of like eccentricness, and then it goes back to
something more
skill.
Modern, where like in the 60s where everything was very straight edge and boxed up, and
then they had this
kind of like why LA looks the way it does. The architecture is very like bland and flat.
And then you have postmodern, which is the same old stuff, but it's just stupid terminology. You know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of the cycle. You know what I'm saying? Same with hip hop, where you have your Soulja Boy.
But what does this have to do with what I was talking about earlier in terms of like the week?
Well, because
right now culture is being changed by people who are scared.
But that's that's only one side of culture. You know what I'm saying? There is another side of culture where it is making people who are not as receptive to those ideas, they're growing in numbers and in voices and doubling down. You know what I'm saying? Like even me, like I say, I don't I actually, people ask me like, oh, aren't you so upset about the PC culture ruining comedy? I'm like, not necessarily for me. I mean, maybe I'm not famous enough, but it's allowed a new play area for me where I know how your perception works. Like, that's the worst thing you can do is let me figure out how your perception works, because I can play in your brain all day.
Hey, man, I mean, that's most of my set. Most of my set is playing with people's perceptions of things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But when you don't know, that's what it's like you're trying to figure out. But if I'm like, if somebody goes, oh, this is a PC room, and I know it's a PC room, I can literally say say the crazy thing and then change the last word.
So you're taking it back to comedy. I'm talking about the world. I'm just talking about in general. I'm talking about how like policies are now being changed. Corporations are going out of their way to align themselves with whatever movement has the biggest noise, Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Like, there's just it seems like right now the people who, it just seems like those people that would run to the cave are the ones that are now driving how everything should be.
I tend to look at, because I feel like a lot of things are distractions. I tend to look at the first thing is money. Where's the money flowing? The reason why is because whenever there's a movement or an idea that's that powerful, if something's mainstream, that means it's being pushed, and that means that there's money behind it. Right. Because ain't nobody pushing nothing, ain't got no money behind it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. All the real revolutionaries are dead. That's how that works. Amen. Right. So I always say, like, if you going, because that's what it's just hard for me to make a full judgment on what's happening until I see the money, where the money's actually going. I just say right now we're in a wind of change. I'll say that, but I can't make a statement as strong as like, oh, the pussies are winning. You know what I'm saying? I'll say that. I feel like the pussies are winning, man. I'll say this. Back when, I'll say this, the fact that Marvel is mainstream now, you know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that people know what Wakanda is, I mean, I was a fucking nerd growing up, bro. So it's just the fact that, like, says, okay, like, oh, the nerds are up right now. But I don't know. I mean, maybe guns gonna start being cooler than fucking it's comic books, and then boom. They're gonna, like, pixel out. They're gonna, like, blur out guns now in movies in the future. They're gonna, like, go like all the Avengers movies and like remaster them for like a new generation of people who can't see violence. They're gonna turn the bullets into bubbles. You think we're more censored or less censored? I think there is a very big push in our culture to push for more censorship. There's less censorship than in the 90s. You realize that, right? But that was a different time. I know there was a lot. There was a lot of censorship back then, especially towards black people and black music. Yeah. It was very much that. Well, just in general, the parental advisory stickers and all that fucking shit that was happening in hip hop. Now parental advisory is just something cool. Like it doesn't mean anything. But back then it was like, seriously, you couldn't get shit. You couldn't even purchase that. But now if you're a kid, you can purchase parental advisory music online. Well, yes, of course. I mean, there's avenues of that are like better. Mm-hmm. But there are other things now where it's just like, for example, like I understand that. So for example, like the pandemic, right? I really do feel that the politicians, all they were doing was just playing whatever theatrics that they could play to keep the loudest among us satiated. Is that any different from what has happened in the past, though? I think now it's a little bit way more different, yeah. I think especially seeing the pandemic, it was much more apparent. Mm-hmm. So you've seen it before. Yeah. But now it was so apparent. Do you feel like that could be because of who was in charge, the leadership? I mean, there always has to be like a cause. Well, I think with having the leadership that we had before with Trump, he fucking exacerbated a lot of shit. Yeah, but this was global, though. This was global, but I'm talking about how we handled it. Okay. I'm looking at it about how we handled it
And going back to your other question, I really do feel from when I was like watching, it's like a lot of people were home. A lot of people had time to be on Facebook and on social media.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of people turned out to be very scared and vocal about it in an angry way. In a way of like, we need to change this and we need to do this so that I'm no longer scared. That's basically what a lot of it is. And then I could really see that, man, the government just, it's like, hey, this is what we're going to have to do to get this type of people to shut the fuck up. But meanwhile, people like me and you are just like, okay, are we doing masks? Are we not doing masks? Whatever.
Yeah. But you know what, though? The fact that the government couldn't handle it was interesting to watch.
Couldn't handle what?
We watched, I mean, as far as like financially and the way, like they dipped into reserves of money that we didn't know existed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we knew it existed, bro.
Right, exactly.
We knew. The people who knew, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
People like me, man, especially if you're Arab in this country, man, and you see when, how's this? During the COVID relief bill.
Mm-hmm. Which one is that?
One of them. One of the ones that we did. It doesn't matter. My point is that they always do this. This is what I'm going to tell you is something that they always do. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They will always sneak in funding in those bills to pay for other things.
Yeah.
It's almost like they just like throw it in there. They do that all the time.
1,000%.
Pandemic hits, corporations get $3 trillion, no problem, right? It only took them a fucking second to be like, bam, $3 trillion, right?
Walmart didn't miss a day of business.
Exactly.
During the whole pandemic.
So they get all that money, right? And then these motherfuckers fight for 3 months or more over $600 or was it $1,400, whatever it is. Yep. Okay. Finally, they get to a point where they're like, oh, yeah, all this theatric stuff. Oh, where's the money going to come from? Oh, you're going to make people not want to work. Oh, business owners are going to have a hard time hiring people. Oh, all this fucking shit, right? Mm-hmm. They drag that thing the fuck out. And then finally they agree on giving us peanuts. Mm-hmm. And then in that bill, $4 billion to Israel.
Yeah.
$2 billion or more to Saudi Arabia.
School me. That's right.
Billions of more to other countries that we are allies with. I don't even know why we're fucking giving them money. But with Israel, specifically, yearly, $4 billion they get from us, bro.
And you have no idea why.
Let's look it up.
Because I know a lot of shit, but when I don't know nothing,
now I can share my screen. Look at that. Okay, let's look at this. Let's try to find out.
It wasn't because of my link?
It's not your link, bro. The fucking something. It's me, bro.
Okay, all right.
Okay. I only look like I'm smart. I'm an idiot, bro. I'm a fucking idiot. Okay. Why? I'll just do the fucking. Can I do this? Is this gonna work? Why does Israel get $4 billion every year from the United States? Let's fucking see. Why Americans give $4 billion of their money each year. So this is from Arab American News. Let's see if I could talk about something real quick, bro. Talk about something like in terms of like while I'm looking this up, see anything within
crazy shit.
We're talking about like bills being passed, I
mean, on the same subject or something different.
Hold on.
Okay. All right. Talk about something. Shit. Man.
Talk about pussy, bro. While I'm looking this up.
Pussy, man. Don't you like that? Yeah, pussy is an interesting name for something that has a hole in it. Which part is the pussy? Is it the inside or the outside? I can never tell. Did you know that the inside of a vagina is the same skin that's inside of a mouth? on. I just saw that.
You should just keep talking, bro. This is very interesting. I don't think anyone wants to know anything else about Israel right now, bro. I'm trying to figure out.
Pussy sounds nice and squishy. Like it sounds like it should be like a toy, like pussy. Like I don't know, but like you know, a word I hate. I hate the word.
Here's the thing. The United States has handed Israel more than $134 billion since 1948.
Well, 1948.
Since
That's crazy.
since 1948.
And why? Why
right.
do we?
Why have Americans provide an additional $750 million to Israel and finance its missile defense program? Why was it the first foreign country to receive the latest F-35 fighter jets, which were paid for with the same U.S. military aid that it receives? Why did Israel have the first ever free trade agreement with the U.S., which makes Israeli exports duty-free? Why does the U.S. not hesitate to provide so much money to Israel despite a massive budget deficit while it cuts funds to major programs such as food assistance? If it is so developed and wealthy, talking about Israel, why does Israel need so much American money? These are obviously reasonable questions. Now, this article is really big. And it says, meanwhile, in the U.S., the U.S. has decided to punish Palestinians by cutting hundreds of millions of dollars in aid projects, including $25 million to assist East Jerusalem hospitals. This does not include the hundreds of millions of dollars that have already been withheld from some organization. I'm not even going to say it.
I thought you were going to say, meanwhile, in the U.S., Soulja Boy comes up with a new TikTok dance.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're focused on.
I thought this is what you were going to say.
So we're giving $4 billion every year to Israel. And they just cut funding to art programs, to welfare, especially cutting Palestinians from aid. You know, what's crazy is that, the Palestinians don't have a military.
See, that's what I was saying. I didn't understand. I just saw video of like a gang of missiles just heading towards.
Oh yeah, you saw that?
Yeah, and I no context or anything, and I just see like you talk about the people online saying, "Oh, this hurts my heart." And I'm like, context, give me something. Like I don't know.
So with this one here, it's it kind of looks like the world is starting to wake up to how fucked up Israel is. For so long, Israel's really hided behind United States media machine that sheltered them. I don't know if you know this, but during 9/11, the day of 9/11. On the day, they showed video, I think it was on ABC, of Palestinians in the streets cheering.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then it came out later that it was footage from 5 years ago. 5 years before 9/11. But they put that there.
They do that.
They put that there so that they could fucking make Palestinians look like fucking trash. Like they look like fucking horrible people. And Americans don't even fucking know that Palestinians have no military.
Do you believe
all they know is like they're launching missiles into Israel. It's like, do you know that the missiles they get are like fucking years old technology, and they have no guidance system? They just fucking launch them in the air and hope that it goes down. And then Israel has that defense mechanism that just shoots missiles out of the sky. Like the majority of them don't even fucking make them down, and if they do, they hit a building and no one's there.
So what actually?
That's not to say that it's right.
I mean, what actually happens when we get to the point where missiles launched in the first place?
What's that?
Or is that too much for this podcast? I'm like, what happens in between the time? What happens to get to the point where a missile's launched anyway? I mean, because you understand.
What happened with this here is, we take it back to Trump when Trump declared Jerusalem the capital of Israel.
Okay.
There was an agreement between the United States, and Israel that they would split Jerusalem. One side would be for Palestinians, and the other side would be whatever, and that there should never be a U.S. embassy there or anything like that.
Okay.
Well, Trump said, "Fuck you to that."
Okay.
Declared Jerusalem the capital of fucking Israel and built an embassy there.
Okay.
Pissed off a lot of Palestinians.
Okay.
This is like, you're already stealing our fucking land. Now you're going to take Jerusalem from us. So, and then all of a sudden recently, they were evicting Palestinians out of their homes in Jerusalem.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen videos of like, you know, like this video that I posted where this like, you know, Jewish settler was like in the backyard of this Palestinian woman. She's like, get out of here. She's like, why are you trying to steal my home? And he literally says it. He goes, if I don't steal it, someone else will steal it. So matter of factly, because they believe these hardcore Jew settlers, they call them, they believe in their heart of hearts that God wants this to happen. This has to happen. That that all of Israel has to be cleansed and has to belong to the Jews.
Okay.
So they believe all of Palestine belongs to the Jews.
Now, when you say,
and they have to make it happen. And here's the crazy thing. Christians in America are supporting that. But they're supporting it for two different reasons. It's so weird. So you have these Christians in America that support the idea of the Jews taking over Israel, taking all of Palestine.
Yeah.
They believe that once Israel takes all of Palestine, Jesus comes back.
Okay.
Okay? Jesus comes back and says, hey, okay, everything's cool, right?
Why
Hold on a second.
Okay.
The Jews believe that if they get all of Palestine, Jesus comes for the first time.
But do they believe in Jesus?
Yeah. They both believe in Jesus, just Jews don't believe that Jesus has come yet. They don't believe the Messiah has come yet. That's why when Jesus was doing what he was doing in Jerusalem, the Jews were the ones that were calling for him to get crucified.
Yeah.
That's why there's a lot of anti-Semitic hate towards the Christian world, towards Jews for a very long time, because people will hold even Jews today.
Yeah.
That shit happened 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And people are still blaming Jews that live today. That's how fucking dumb a lot of fucking people are.
Yeah.
So a lot of the hate that Jews got was from this idea that, hey, you guys killed Jesus.
Yeah.
Whereas Jews believe, no, that guy was just some dude. The Messiah is not even here yet.
That's what I was taught. So when you said that, now I understand what you were saying.
So what's crazy is you have these two groups of people, these hardcore right-wing Christians that want Palestine to be eradicated because they believe Jesus is coming back. And the Jews think Jesus is going to be coming for the first time. But here's the crazy thing. Guess what the Christians believe when Jesus comes back?
What?
All the Jews die. So you have these Zionists in Israel that are partnering up with these Christians, knowing that the Christians believe once they get all of Palestine, the Jews are going to be fried.
And
it's so sick.
So what's the right answer? Because obviously, I mean, so far, and what you just said, just sound like Palestinians just want to be left alone. Is that what it is, or what's?
Yeah, bro.
What's their? They don't have any political agenda.
You know, when I was there, I did stand up in Palestine, 2018.
Okay.
And I remember I was hanging out with my buddy Nabil.
Oh shit.
He was
yeah.
No, you don't know.
No, okay.
He's not a comic.
Okay, cool.
No, he was some guy who lives in Palestine.
Shout out Nabil.
He's a cool ass dude, man. He has a boxing gym.
Okay.
And his goal is to win the gold.
Okay.
In the Olympics.
Okay.
He believes that the next fighter to win gold is going to come from Palestine. That's his belief.
Not if Israel gets their way.
That's if Israel doesn't. So he lives in the West Bank. And people in the West Bank are not persecuted as people in Gaza. And they're separated. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So the West Bank is like this big chunk on the west side, and then Gaza is this tiny little area over on the other side. So I'm in the West Bank with this guy, and I told him, I was like, hey, man, we're talking about suicide bombers or whatever. And you know what he told me?
What?
He goes, Mike, we're done with that. He goes, we're done with that. He goes, we did that during the Intifada thinking that it was going to get the world to realize the plight that we were going through. And he's like, we're done with that, Mike. He goes, we're done with the war. We're done with all that shit. He goes, we just want to live.
Okay.
But the people in Gaza got it different, bro. People in Gaza are just, they're always getting bombarded. And the reason why is they're being punished because back in the day, Israel said, hey, you guys can have an election. We'll let you guys have an election so you guys can have your own country, right? And Israel's like, just don't let Hamas win the elections. And everyone in Gaza voted for Hamas. Or Hamas stole the elections. We don't know. And ever since then, now it's just they just been fucked with. They cut their electricity off. They cut food aid to them. It's a fucking war zone, and it's fucked up. And if the Palestinians were white, I think it would be a different story. You know?
Yeah, I just really want to know what's the overall. Like I said, I always follow the money. You know what I mean? Especially if America's giving Israel so much money.
We give a lot of other countries money too, though.
I do.
It's not just Israel.
No, I understand that, but I would just want to know what's the incentive, you know, overall. Like it's got to be. It's to me, it has to be a business move. It's not just you know, religious beliefs. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, it's land grab. It's power.
Yeah.
You know, you can't tell me that all those politicians in Israel are like believe in the Messiah or anything.
Absolutely.
They just, if anything, majority of them are just like, this is what you believe.
Yep.
Well, let me see how I can use that as a tool.
Yep.
So I can just gain power and money. And if I just have to say Palestinians are bad and it makes you vote for me, then that's what we're gonna do.
Yep.
You know, but then it's also religious, man. It goes deeper than that. You know, a lot of it is because like Jews for a very long time have felt very persecuted. And you know, and
It's like time to do some persecution of our own.
Pretty much, man. The guy who came up with the idea for Israel was a guy named Theodor Herzl, who was a guy who lived in France. He was a Jewish guy who lived in France, and he was an author. And the majority of his writings were all about bringing Palestinians and not bringing Jews and Europeans together, because there's a lot of hatred towards Jews, right? So he was always writing books about how can we get the Jews to be cool with the Europeans, right? He even advocated that we cross marriage and change names. That's how much he wanted to like make people homogenized.
Yeah.
Because he hated seeing Jews get fucked with. Then World War I happened. And then all of a sudden, a Jewish colonel or something in World War I, a French colonel who's Jewish, apparently, I guess, got the hose job of saying that he was a traitor or something like that. And then all this Jewish hate started happening. And then he ended up getting attacked, this author. And then he started seeing all these other Jews getting their asses kicked and getting killed. And then he switched his mind. And then one night he was so mad about what was happening, he wrote the opposite of what he normally wrote. And what he wrote was, fuck this. The Jews need their country of their own. And we should just do whatever the fuck we can do to make that happen. And when he wrote that, it inspired a whole bunch of other Jewish people who really took what he wrote to heart and said, yeah, we should build a country to protect our people because we've been fucked with for so long. Which is a very noble thing, but then the Palestinians have to pay for the price. So
tell me this. It's like a side note, but just out of curiosity, because this topic comes up a lot though. Is it, since we're acknowledging that Israel is somewhat in the negative space, is it
in the negative space, meaning
by saying like that they're causing the conflict or initiating the conflict, right? Right. Is that anti-Semitic to say so?
That's the problem. Here's another thing. The word anti-Semitic is a loaded fucking term in America.
Of course it is.
Do you understand it?
I would like to hear your explanation.
Okay. Do you know what a Semite is?
I would. You know what? Can I tell you? Okay, I'll just say this. To me, it's like the word Gentile, where it's like all-encompassing. It's like people who are not Jewish. So I feel like Semite are people from a certain area, but not just specifically Jewish people. Am I correct in that?
It is a fucking stupid term. Okay, honestly. Okay. Let me read you this. Semite, member of a people speaking any of a group of related languages presumably derived from a common language. The term came to include Arabs, Akkadians, Canaanites, Hebrews, Ethiopians, Armenians, Mesopotamians, a good portion of the Mediterranean,
like just about
the Arabian Peninsula, the Horn of Africa. So Semite is not Jew.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Semite is not Jew. Semite does not mean Jew.
That's like most of the words in our language. They're just like all like, they don't mean what people want to make them mean.
Well, they mean whatever they mean if it's popularized.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Why is shit good?
Yeah.
Good shit. That's good shit. Why are we saying it's good shit?
I mean, you can do that with everything. What's up? I mean, even like the term America and American, you know, like what's American? Like it's South America, not Americans.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like it sucks when we think, and even the Native Americans, I mean, they were Americans before America, but then Amerigo Vespucci, the person is all named after, was Italian. So what the fuck is really happening?
So my point is that in our country, man, our media really went out of their way to term anti-Semitic as meaning only anti towards Jewish-speaking Jewish people.
Right.
Which is fucking bullshit.
Right.
Because I'm a Semite.
You're a Semite.
And here's what's a killer. Here's what's a real.
So it's like the N-word.
No.
Only you can be. You can't
be S-word.
Yeah. If I say it, then it's a problem.
So the thing is that with the word Semite, man, here's the thing that fucking pisses me off. With the word Semite, Palestinians are 100% Semitic.
Right.
They're from that region.
Absolutely.
Israel,
They're not.
They're not all Semites.
Interesting.
Some of them are just Europeans. Some of them are literally just Russians.
How about this one?
That are Jewish, and then they come there. Let me tell you something, man. It's just like,
what continent?
Why is it more anti-Semitic to criticize a government, Israel, but it's not anti-Semitic to pay $4 billion to drop bombs on the people who don't have a military to protect themselves?
Hold on, wait. I'm sorry, because this is the part you would get your applause break, but I'm currently holding the mic. You got it. There it is. That's so, yeah. You deserve that. If you said that on stage, man, you get it. You get a standing O.
No, I wouldn't get a standing O
by Jewish people.
I get canceled.
They don't know. They just know you said something positive.
I'll get canceled.
You
can't say shit about Palestine or Israel in Hollywood.
Hollywood, but in person. If you just all you have to do is make sense.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But you're right though. It's a very media driven term, and I think in our modern day society, it means to speak anything negative towards Jewish people. Yeah. Anything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Even criticizing their government in another country.
In another country, it has nothing to do.
Oh, you're anti-Jewish now.
Yeah.
Let the Jews kill the Palestinians. Just let them.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why do you hate Jews? Jews like to kill Palestinians. Let them. That's basically what it is.
But you can't hate Jewish people. It's impossible. You're a Semite. See? Perfect. See? But if I say something.
Wait a minute now. Let's get this clear. Just because you're a Semite, you can still hate Semites. As a matter of fact, a lot of Semites hate Semites.
Yeah, that's actually what caused all this.
I mean, just fucking for real. Just, yeah.
But you know what, though?
The whole area.
The reason why I even pointed that out, because on another podcast, I got criticized. They called me anti-Semitic because I had mentioned that I was saying that, I feel like a lot of black people don't get a chance to move up in our society just because they have a lack of information. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of that stuff is just information. You know what I'm saying? From credit to, just finding out the benefits or loopholes in the government.
Family information, too, is another thing.
Yeah, that's generational wealth. That's where it comes from. You know what I mean? But I was saying, like, if we could learn to stick together like the Jewish people, boom, anti-Semitic. And I was like, how? Explain. That was a compliment.
Who said that? Who said that you were anti-Semitic?
It's just people.
Who?
The people.
Were they Jewish?
I don't know.
Nope. They were white Christian.
And what's funny is that I had to say these whack ass things. I have to say these whack ass things. Like, no, I grew up with a bunch of Jewish people. I worked my first job was at a Jewish country club.
And now you look more racist.
I'm saying all the typical things that white people say when they're trying to defend themselves. But it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? All the holidays, man, that's my shit, bro. Their holidays meant I have to work. I made so much Jewish money. Are you fucking serious? I'm trying to make this Hollywood Jewish money. But anyway, whatever. If these anti-Semitic words,
there's a lot of Jewish.
If this is anti-Semitic, then fine, whatever. I love
I know a lot of. Listen,
my anti-Semitic comments towards my people.
I have tons of Jewish friends. I'm in entertainment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Ton of Jewish friends. I love them to death. And then I know these people.
A compliment
Huh?
Well, since when is getting a compliment and then saying, and it's not like oh man, y'all say those words really tight. You know what I mean? like not like that. It's just like, hey, you actually built something. I would like these group of people to build something like these group.
Well,
of
I
people.
think that's because the idea is this. I can see why that dumb person would say that you're anti-Semitic, and I think that's because one of the favorite racist things to do towards any type of ethnicity that comes here and shows any type of prosperity. The racist people will find ways to make fun of them, and usually it's something to the fact of like, oh, they get tax breaks. That's one thing like the Arabs were getting like, and for so long I thought that Arabs came in and they got a tax free for 7 years. That's why they can make these businesses work. And I would hear that from white dudes in Michigan all the time. And I never did any like research for it. And it wasn't until I was at a bar and some Jewish guy was there who's a lawyer, overheard me saying that, and he goes, "Hey, bro, come here, man. That's all bullshit. I'm a lawyer.
Okay,
that never existed." He goes, "What you're talking about is just racist shit that people say to make you people look like shit. That's all it is." He goes,
Hold on, wait. I definitely need to explain, because I know somebody who definitely benefited off of that. So not 7, I thought it was 5 years. But yeah, I would have to need some more breakdown.
Who is this person?
I don't want to say on air.
They're probably lying to you.
Well, they didn't say specifically.
A lot of people will lie about shit because they're trying to hide other shit.
There's some truth to that too. You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
They probably got money in a way that they don't really want to share with you, and then they just want to perpetuate that. Oh yeah, I got the 5-year, the fucking and
the tax,
the hookup from the government. Come on.
A tax break isn't getting money though. It's a way to like, because and that's the thing about, once again, passing information. Because if you know the system, you know the loopholes. You know what I'm saying? You're able to maneuver, because that's what it's designed for. And
so according to Snopes, it's false.
It's false.
No, this is just just looking at false.
Of course. But what exactly is?
It says the claim: the U.S. government grants tax holidays to certain favored groups of immigrants and provides them with free housing, new cars, and clothing allowances.
Well, that's gross. That's not even close to true. Just the 5-year tax break on new business.
I heard it was 7 years.
Yeah, I've always heard 5, but I don't know.
Hold on.
Yeah,
5-year.
Like wouldn't be a bad thing, because it's the idea is to encourage trade. You know what I mean? So if you're trading with a nation, then you're allowing those people to come over here, which they should have some type of incentive to come over here. You know what I'm saying? Other than, I'm American. Like, that's trash. It's like, it's to be incentive to trade a good or a service. You know what I mean? As much shit as I talk about America as a whole, I actually do understand somewhat of how, the economy has to thrive. I mean, the at least what's on paper, not what's actually happening.
So right now it's no, according to this article.
Okay.
Hold on. So let me read this. 5-year wait.
Somebody said
resident aliens have long been required to wait at least 5 years before they can apply for citizenship. This waiting period, combined with the lack of understanding about tax responsibilities of resident aliens and perhaps a certain amount of hostility towards immigrants, may provide some of the basis for the urban legends that claim immigrants live entirely tax-free for the first 5 years in the country. These rumors in turn lead to confusion about the taxes on immigrant-owned business startups.
Okay.
And this is from an article, small business or a business website called Tron. But
somebody said they thought it was a Michigan thing.
Yeah. So this whole thing is a
myth.
It's a myth that's been perpetuated. So this guy is hiding something.
Possibly.
That guy's hiding something, bro.
I mean, I say
let's dox him. Who is this guy?
I don't want to say.
Let's find out.
I talk too much shit on air. I can't. I'll talk to
Any of y'all listen out there, let's find this motherfucker. What is he up to, bro? 5-year wait, huh? That's that old school immigrant way of saying, you know what? My mother, she gives me money, but I'm too ashamed to tell you. The BMW is not in my name for a reason, because I didn't buy it. But I tell you, I put it in my mother's name, so the insurance, she low. That's not the truth. The truth is I'm a bitch. I really live in my mother's basement, but I don't want anybody to know.
It's got to be more to it, though.
That's what it sounds like. If this fucking immigrant motherfucker saying that shit, bro, he's hiding something.
But it's got to be more to, because actually, I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. I did think it was a thing, though. I'll say that much. You know what I mean? Because like I said, if there should be incentives for, you know, people.
Well, I think that type of rumor perpetuates itself because then it gets on the good side of both people, right? Both people looking. Stop watching yourself on the fucking thing.
I'm reading your fans, your people.
Are they commenting?
Yeah. See, look at you. Oh, happy now.
Oh shit! Some of them are commenting. Oh, Jason Bacon's here. He said, "Yeah, I thought the tax break was a Michigan thing. No, it wasn't. And that's the thing. I thought it was a Michigan thing too, man. I thought it was a thing that only Arabs got because that's what I kept hearing all the time. Yeah. And it's funny." Like you hear that,
yeah,
and then it wasn't until I was like 25, 26 that it took a Jewish guy to come in and be like, bruh. And then he even made a point too. He goes, Brian, I'm Jewish. He goes, I know. He goes, they spun dumb shit like that about my people back in the day. You know?
Interesting.
You know, like after the Holocaust, when a lot of like Jews started moving over here, they became prosperous very quickly. It's because they're disciplined, man. Yeah. And people call you anti-Semitic for saying that because
of the other
there are people who are racist towards Jews and point out to their positive attributes, and they use that against them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what this person was calling you anti-Semitic for saying something positive about Jews, about them being successful, that triggered that part in them for them to virtue signal against you, which is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, man. That's our society, though. But it's like who can out irony each other? Like,
exactly.
Like can I one up you in irony on this subject?
Yeah. So I mean, all right. Well, I think we're done talking about Palestine and fucking
but you know
immigrants and tax breaks and rumors.
But you know what? Real quick though, like I love this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
you love what shit?
I like the political history and the religious aspects of it. Like I'm a fan of culture in that way, and you know I know how to shut up and listen and learn, as opposed to only talking about my side and what's beneficial to me.
I'm like that too, man.
Yeah,
I do. That's why I think that's like a lost art.
It is.
It's lost.
Our society.
Everyone's just on the ready to be offensive, to be like, yo, fuck you. Yeah. No one wants to listen, man. That's why we have Democrats and Republicans. I think it's so fucking stupid, bro. This whole two-party system blows me away. And what blows me away is that there's so many people I know that that the trick is being played on them, but they still play along.
But
it's so fucking crazy.
Well,
it's like something is hypnotizing us.
It's part of brainwashing. It's actually a tactic. If two options, I always say two options or no options. You know what I'm saying? Because it prevents you from free thought. You know what I'm saying? I always make the analogy where I say Neo in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Remember he gave him choice. You get the red pill.
Right.
The blue pill.
Right.
He specifically said, he goes, look, if you take the red pill, you see how deep out the rabbit hole goes.
You see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
But he goes, take the blue pill. He said you wake up back and never. I'm like, he never told him you could just walk away. you could walk away.
No, he won't let you walk away.
Or you could be like, yo, I got a green pill, bro.
It's gonna make you hungry in about 3 hours.
It'll make you fly, bro. Whatever the fuck.
You'll get the munchies.
Yeah, you get the munchies.
It's green.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's what I'm noticing. You know what I'm saying? If you notice, whenever they introduce like a new piece of technology or something new to our society, there's always in twos. There's always like literally from remember the Bird scooter, then had the Lime scooters immediately.
Right. Android,
iPhone, and these are virtually the same thing, just small things. But overall, you know,
why do you think that is? That we have two things. Do you think that people are just do you think these companies all vibe to get like, hey, we're gonna make the best technology, but then in the end, only two come out?
It's the streamlining of mass production and brainwashing. It's streamlining. It's like this tactic has been perfected over time. It works. That's why they keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? If I tell you get to, I heard somebody tell me this. I said this to somebody before. And they said, yeah, they did it with their kids. They'd be like, do you want to stay up for an hour or do you want to do your homework or something like that, right? And then but kids will immediately, their brains will go, oh, I'm just going to pick between these two. You know what I'm saying? And you feel like an individual because you got a choice to pick, but that's not really picking if it's only two options. It's like you're being pigeonholed. You know what I'm saying? Pepsi, Coke. I mean, you can just go down the list. That's just the way it is.
So I'm going to. Are you watching, bro? Are you watching?
Listen.
I'm going to do something very offensive to liberals right now.
Oh God.
Do something very,
God.
very offensive to liberals.
Oh God.
Okay. and this is the thing, man, because I consider myself liberal, and this fucking pandemic and watching how we've been really separated into Republican and Democrat so much because of Trump, that I used to fucking think liberals were thinking people. I used to think that. I used to think that liberals were the group of people that were going to stop and listen and, let that thought bounce around in their head like any normal smart person would, and digest and process information that comes at them. Okay. Not be closed-minded. So, dude, it's so stupid right now, okay, that we have a president right now.
Okay.
Who's a fucking pedophile. He's a fucking pedophile. Cut to the videos. Let's go. Fuck this shit.
Okay.
Look at this motherfucker. He's not even trying to hide it. Doesn't even know that girl is creeped the fuck out. Her fucking parents are like, what the fuck just happened? Okay, now if this was fucking Trump, let's get to it. If this was fucking Trump, my liberal friends would be clear-headed. They would be able to watch this and be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And now I have to fucking...
Now you say pedophile?
Now I have friends. Now I have my liberal friends. They have children. They voted for this motherfucker. They know this video exists.
He did make that weird comment about kids.
Look at it. Come on, man.
Kids playing with his legs and watching the hairs go in the water or something like that.
Now, I can see people making the argument, no, he just loves children. He's overly affectionate.
I don't want to make excuses for him.
Why? Why sniffing? Why are you sniffing her hair? Why are you petting her fucking neck like that? What the fuck are you doing? You don't even do that to your own kids, you fucking creep.
Oh, man.
No, not smile. No date till you're 30.
What the fuck? Look at it. Look where he's holding her. That's pretty fucking uncomfortable, bro.
He's grabbing her face. What is that about?
Okay, here we go. Well, let's get the senator in here.
You're seeing it on a delay, though.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Let's see if I can get it close.
Anyways.
Yeah, okay. I didn't see that.
We probably lost all our viewers right now.
Hey, I never seen that stuff.
Oh,
but
shit, thing's still playing?
Is it?
Sorry.
Yeah. I didn't see all that stuff, but hey, there's a case there.
You didn't see all that, right?
No. I only think I said, but you know what's
Did you
funny?
see the one where he's grabbing her titty?
No.
Look, it's coming up. Are you still on the delay?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Yeah, nah. Yeah. Look. He does. It is a case there, especially if they was able to try Michael Jackson. Why not? But I would say that I remember he made that comment when he was trying to talk about. I think he was talking about black kids in particular, but he would say they would play with his legs, and he said they'll watch they'll play with his legs, and he said his legs would go in the water and they'll come up, and he said they'd be like, oh, it's blonde, but when they play with his legs, there's a different color, and it was so weird. And then just like only thing I heard was like, yo, you let kids play with your legs, dog? What type of weird shit you into?
What is
and
that?
Now this is like,
You never seen that video?
No, I haven't seen that. But you know what though? Look, man, Joe. What I like about Joe is that people have bought into this like humbleness about him, right? But the guy that he was, you know, that the crime bill guy and all that stuff. I mean, he was the white man that they made Trump out to be. You know what I'm saying? But they don't ever play his old videos.
My God, he was a racist fucking piece of shit.
I mean, he was that guy. He had all the swag of a guy who just hated black people on that level. You know what I'm saying? Literally, like, you know, I mean, times change. I get it. People change, but he's a career politician. You know what I mean? He's going to swing whatever way, what you were saying before, as far as like just placating to the masses. You know what I mean? If the masses say something, you know, he's going to migrate his position over there because, you know, it's all about the politics to him. But yeah, with the kids thing, I mean, fuck it. I'm in for a presidential pedophilic trial. Let's get it going.
That'll never happen. He'll die before that happens, bro.
I'll watch that shit. I mean, like, yo.
Even his crime bill in 1993, man. I mean,
yeah. But that, you know, what's funny is Bill Clinton apologized for that, and he took most of the rap for that, right? But there's
why did Bill Clinton take the rap for what Joe Biden said?
He signed off on it.
Oh, he did sign off.
He signed off on it. Yeah, but Joe Biden was the person who initiated, and this was funny. Joe Biden was getting jealous that Clinton was getting credit for it. You know, both the Clintons, whatever. Joe Biden on camera is going off saying, "That's my bill. That's my bill. I did that." Because he said, I just couldn't sleep knowing good and well that he's talking about he played into America's, you know, just their racist mind, saying, you know, places where my grandmother, she
yes,
sleeps in
I remember
that.
I remember that.
My daughter, he gonna feel safe. Your daughter's sleeping next to a criminal, somebody who's been in jail. So literally 3 strikes, which the third strike could be for anything. Even if you paid your debt to society, you go to jail for life.
That's what I'm saying, man.
You know what I mean? People don't, you look, and I'm not defending criminals, but at the same time, just as an American, if you paid your debt to society, as they say,
set it on this or something, bro?
I know, right?
The fuck, this is kind of heavy. Careful, don't let it hit that. Don't pull any fucking cables, motherfucker.
I got you. Boom. All right. Yo, this has been a funny technical podcast as far as like the amount of stuff that we've had to switch around here. Yeah.
Well, you're the one that wants to fucking see your face all the time. You can't just have a
face,
conversation.
The fans, bro. Defund the government.
Yeah, that's Jason Bacon, man. He's yeah. So all right, let's go. Let's talk about Tony Hinchcliffe.
Okay.
So right now, Tony Hinchcliffe, he's a racist.
Well, duh. That's not a big deal.
Do you think he's a racist?
Is a racist a bad thing to be?
You
judge people by their race. I mean, let's just leave it at that. Does he judge people by their race? Yeah, sure.
But does that make him a racist?
Yes.
No.
It's not a big deal. It's okay.
Okay, hold on a second.
Like you said.
Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
If I acknowledge that you're black,
okay,
does that make me racist?
Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Well, I think because look, you just got finished saying we defined the word Semite, right? And then anti-Semitic, right?
Listen,
and
fuck off.
Look, literally,
you're a piece of shit.
No, man.
We're ending the podcast, bro. It's fucking done. We're not even fucking doing this anymore now.
Come on.
Stupid,
because of the context attached to the word. Okay. Because they have it in this society now that you're not even racist just for disliking a race. You're racist because you have to economically disenfranchise a race in order to be racist. When they made the word racist, did it involve all that shit?
I think racism is about
judging people based upon their race.
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. See, I think that's just so.
What would you call somebody who judges people based upon their race?
Listen, judging people based on their race. But if I said, if I acknowledge that you're black, that doesn't make me racist.
You didn't make a judgment yet.
But what I said earlier was, what did I say earlier?
What?
I said, if I acknowledge that you're black, does that make me racist? You said yes.
I mean,
and now you're backpedaling, or maybe you didn't hear it, or
yes and
you
no.
just couldn't wait to say yes.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of, it's kind of funny too, because it's like people are afraid of that, but at the same time, literally the judgment thereof. I mean, it's not a big deal. That's not the big deal part.
It's not about the big deal. I'm just trying to see if you think that being, if you think acknowledging different races and that they do things differently, that makes you racist.
Let's go to
If
the context.
I acknowledge Indian people,
because I see even you're falling for the thing that it's the
then
context.
educate me.
That's what I'm
bro.
saying. It's the context. It's the same thing that you. I feel like we're on the same side, but I think that this
But
word.
hold on,
is triggering
hold
you.
on. I'm still on the fact that I said earlier, if I acknowledge that you're black, does that make me racist? You said yes.
Well,
and what are
okay,
you saying
all right,
now?
all right.
Is
Here,
that
look,
yes or no? Because now you're saying it's about context.
I'll be a little more fair. I'll be a little more fair. I think that just the pure acknowledgement thereof, not yet. But it's like I said, I think racist is identity that if you want to own and be that, that's fine. Do I think a person has the ability to be racist, or anybody has the ability to be racist? I do believe that. I don't think that it takes much to have a racial idea, or because technically, if you talk about it almost seems like you're an expert at it. Now, just because you acknowledge somebody's race doesn't mean you're an expert at race. No, you know what I'm saying? So it's just too many things that go into that. But in the simplicity of just acknowledging somebody's race makes you racist, no, it makes you feel better. But
or how about pointing out the things that people in that race do that other people don't do?
I mean, I think once it gets into a judgment area, yeah.
So what you're saying is, if someone like me who appreciates travel, appreciates going to different cultures, appreciates meeting from whatever, if I'm somebody who's describing Indian people and the things that they do, so on and so forth, the cultures that they have, the foods that they eat, how they don't get certain jokes, so to speak, or how how they do this when they talk, that means like I kind of like you, this is like really good. That doesn't make me racist.
I think
now, if I came across with it like, yo, man, Indian people, that curry, man, they need to wear deodorant. They smell, I don't like the way they talk. Those people are dirty, or this, that, and the other thing.
Well, okay.
That's fucking racist. So that's context, right?
But when you talk about context, then that's more of a bigoted racism. You know what I'm saying?
So the first one was racism too?
My opinion
Yeah.
is that, and because you also describe cultures, and there's so many other things involved in that to just go to, and I think that's the biggest issue. I think we were talking about this yesterday, as far as the difference between race, ethnicity, and nationality. You know what I'm saying?
Nationality is where
so it's
country
all,
you're from.
yeah, but
where you
but
live,
exactly. But I'm just saying the fact that to throw all that in the pot, and then I just say, if we just sticking with race, you know what I'm saying, and making a judgment upon a race, is that considered racist? Yes, I think that just the concept of racist being the worst of the worst is what's throwing everything into turmoil, because people were so focused on that part and not on the bonding of the individual, or how each word is affecting another person. You know what I'm saying? People are so afraid to discuss race that anything that could be determined as racism is just the worst of worst. You know what I'm saying? But people judge people on multiple things all the time. It's not just one thing. You know what I'm saying? It's but it's like the moment you judge somebody based upon race, there's a global thing.
See, I think you're saying something different than I'm saying. You're talking about judging people based on their race.
Yeah,
that's not what I'm talking about.
Then what are you talking about?
You're saying judging people based on their race would be something like this, right? Mm-hmm. Like how some people say, okay, Arabs, you see that Arab guy? You're doing business with him. Mm-hmm. You can't trust those people, man, because they'll try to screw you over.
Is judging only negative?
And then now you're judging them.
Is judging only negative?
I mean, no.
Okay.
It's not always negative.
I think that's the way you're interpreting it. So that's why.
But to me, that's what's racist. That's racist.
I mean, I think because the whole like people act like they're colorblind.
Because if you go to Detroit, right, and then you go to Dearborn where the Arabs are, you're gonna have a different experience when you go to like an Arab guy's home. Like the hospitality, the traditions, the this, that, and the other thing. I'm gonna tell you, I'm like, are you gonna go to an Arab guy's home? Well, more than likely, these are the things that you're going to encounter.
Okay, look. This
right?
Let's talk about what's not
that
racist.
Makes it racist.
Let's talk about what's not racist. What's not racist is you go to different, like, let's just 5 different people, right? You can have the same conversation with these 5 different people and not bring up anything dealing with race at all. But that's almost inhuman and impossible.
True.
Because being racist or judging people upon their race is not the biggest deal on the planet, whether positive or negative.
Well, see, I just don't listen, man. Okay, so racism, it says right here. This is like a definition right here.
Yeah, but that shit
The
be
belief
trash,
that race
bro.
accounts for differences in human character or ability and that a particular race is superior to others. Discrimination,
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Discrimination or prejudice based on race. The belief that each race is distinct and each race has distinct and intrinsic attributes.
That's what it says?
Yeah.
And that's what you're describing?
Yeah.
And that's what it says racist is, or racism?
Yeah.
And is that a big deal?
That's not a big deal.
Okay, so are we done with that part? Or
Okay, maybe you made a good point.
Thank
Because to
you.
me, when I think of racism, I think of like negative.
I know, and that's the
I
problem.
think negative.
So
Negative.
look,
You're
what-
being fucking racist right
but,
now.
but the thing is that we can't even get past that layer.
So then the word is being so loaded that everyone's using it for everything to stop
my
everything.
God, thank you very much. Thank you. That's it. This is exactly what's happening. But it's because of the people. Once you go there and now people's insecurities are activated, you hear all this other bullshit that has nothing to do with humans connected.
So then that person that called you anti-Semitic for saying that Jews are prosperous and that you want to learn from them, is that what you said was racist?
What I said was racist? I mean, that's once again, that's what I'm saying. We got to go back to every time you do this, since you understand completely, I have to go back to the original thing. Is because this whole conversation started with Tony and we haven't even gotten to that yet.
I know.
Is being racist the biggest deal? Is judging a person based upon their race the biggest deal? No. Because it's just a judgment. It's just one judgment. It's more
Sure, but for some people it is the biggest deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those are the people that I'm concerned about.
Yeah, but you know what? It might not be. People think it's so funny what people think is the biggest deal, but then they have a revelation. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's what all those like those movies and TV shows. You know, they have like a racist person bonding with that other person that they thought they hate so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it'll be over a common interest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But even that's a judgment. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I said. I think that's the bigger deal. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I was born like this. I can categorize that type of information. You know what I'm saying? You can make, you know, and I'm not trying to validate racist people who make it their business to be bigoted in their racist beliefs or, you know, whatever. But it's just the fact that I'm really big on words, and a lot of people, they design words to describe their feelings in order to just win a conversation. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like really getting into a solution. We're never going to get a solution if words don't mean what they're supposed to mean, or like actual destination.
So do we need a new word for racism?
I mean,
For
I think
racist?
a bigot or whatever the heck, you know, it don't matter.
So because it looks like not all racism is negative.
That's very true.
So if that's the case, we need a new word to describe someone who's using it in a negative way.
Oh, bitch ass.
Bitch ass racist.
I mean, it's all there. I mean, we don't really need more words. Thank God we don't need more words. We just need to call it what it is.
The thing is, my point is, I think it's fucking stupid to be shut down for talking positive about other races or talking
Absolutely.
about funny things about other races, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that should be. I think that's a celebration of our differences.
Well,
if anything,
hold on, because if this is segue into the Tony thing, he wasn't celebrating at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I heard a lot of things. I'm
let's-
wondering if we
we'll
should
talk it
watch
out.
the whole.
Talk- yeah.
I'm wondering if we should watch the whole.
No, not the whole one yet.
No,
but yeah.
I'm saying like if we should watch the whole, the set from Pang Dang is his name.
Yeah. Well,
Hit-
not right now though, right?
Well, I'm just wondering. We just listen to it, and then
I'd rather watch Tony's set. It's probably way funnier.
I know, but all we want is to get the context of why Tony said what he said when he got on stage.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
And his set is only like about 10 minutes. You know?
Okay.
You don't think we should do this?
On the podcast, I just don't think it'll be that good.
But we can still talk over it though.
Okay, all right.
Do you know what I mean?
That's fine.
I don't know this guy's set. I have no idea what it's like. I was talking with a bunch of other comics, and from what it sounds like, it's not fair to Tony, that little small clip that came out, because it didn't put into context this guy's entire set and how he left that room with his set. Because like sometimes the context is like what's going on in the room. If anything, it almost sounded like Tony was coming out there being extra racist and yelling at the white people for like laughing at his joke or like turning on their own race or something.
Yeah, he used the word race traitors, and he said it. He pretty much, what it sounded like to me, he was saying that the guy's set was very hacky. And
who said that?
Tony. Tony was saying that the guy's, to me, the way I interpret it, I don't know all the information, I'll be honest, but from what I seen, it seemed like Tony was just calling the dude's set out, and he's saying you guys were laughing at that trash that guy was saying. But then he started going into the impersonation, which I think was a little too far. And then he used the word, which
the C word.
I don't even think that is currently offensive. I think maybe that was offensive.
Really offensive
years
bro.
ago.
Doesn't
currently?
Matter. Oh, bro.
Is it?
Bro.
I didn't know.
Chink is a harsh. Bro.
I've only heard it in like some weird joking way. I've never heard anybody use that like in a direct offensive way.
I've heard it.
Honestly, like
actually,
mocking,
I fucking heard it.
I've heard people use it mocking older people.
No, man. I've heard it in Detroit. People would fucking, if you know, in Detroit, everyone is where the American car companies are.
Yeah, of course.
If you drive a Asian car, they call it rice burner. You know,
I'm sorry.
You're driving like a chink. You know, like that. You hear from these racist white guys, and you know, I've grown up in the Midwest, man. I've heard people use that shit in hatred, and sometimes like white guys in Detroit, like back in the 80s and 90s, they were kind of privy to the fact that there were some Arabs that moved into Dearborn that did not like black people. So then the white people felt very comfortable being racist around Arab people, right? So I would be around certain white dudes that would kind of look at me like, oh, I could be racist around this guy. And they would use that word, man. So I've heard it, man.
Maybe they never felt that comfortable around me.
Well, no, of course not.
Because I've honestly, like,
you know,
you ever hear like an old phrase and you be like, they said that? Like, I'll tell you this one. Like, this is an old phrase that I've heard people use to refer to white people, but it cannot be offensive in today's society.
Okay.
Peckerwood. You see how funny that is? And
listen,
it's like
all the fucking racist terminology for white people are always funny.
Yeah, but it's like dumb.
It's dumb. Like, cracker.
Yeah, cracker.
Peckerwood, man. I haven't heard Peckerwood in so long. Peckerwood.
So to me, when I hear, you know, now I'm not even gonna say it. It's funny. I rather say there's so many words I'd rather say other than that. But yeah, and you know, until that happened, I wouldn't have seen it as offensive,
bro.
Yeah,
especially now with the whole like hatred towards Asians, stop Asian hate, and people are very sensitive about what's happening to Asian people, man. I understand, like. Maybe like taking the risk to do an Asian joke, right? But man, that C word, bro, that C word is the N word, man.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, now that, I mean, not to that it should or shouldn't have slid.
I think that's where he really fucked up.
I thought the impression was where he messed up. That was crazy.
To me, the C word is what did it, I think.
So you think if he...
I have to watch it. Let's watch it.
Okay.
Let's watch it.
All right, you're right.
It's only a 10-minute set.
You're right.
He's got a 10-minute set with the Peng Dang. I've never seen this set
I
before.
Hope it's funny.
I just want to take it into context. Now, put your fucking phone down and just listen to it, bro. Because I know you like looking at your face.
Right. No,
you just like looking at your face.
All right.
You didn't turn it down. I'm still looking at yourself.
Look, I'm not looking at me. I'm just looking to the people.
Right, here we go. Just listen to it.
All right.
Let me take it to the top. There we go.
Dang, guys, come on for it right now. What's up, everybody? Woo! Woo! That's my uncle's name. Thank you for the shout out. Like you guys laugh at easy jokes. The expectation is very low. I think it's interesting how everybody just lowered their expectations during COVID though. Like, look at all the restaurants here. Since when did the best advertisement for a restaurant become "We are open"? I remember when they used to care.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
They used to put out exciting statements like "Soup of the Day," "Catch of the Week," "We accept EBTs." Now it's just, yeah, the doors are not locked. That's not my usual opener. I usually start a show by saying I'm from China. Can't do that anymore. Now it just sounds like a threat.
Not bad comic.
It was recently everybody's wearing masks, so the TSA had to do this. Scan your ticket, check your ID, sir, pull off your mask. All right, you're good next. When it comes to my turn, I had to show them my Chinese passport, and I was about to pull out my mask, and he goes, no, you keep it on. I trust you. I went right through it. It's like a superpower.
I trust you.
I got two Arab guys behind me going, man, this is bullshit. Why are we getting the random searches? I came to this country 10 years ago, went to college in Alabama. Yeah, that's the correct response. It was cool to learn about the civil rights movement. The first semester it was MLK Day. School had to put us in the bus to go visit Miss Rosa Parks Museum. And the whole time on the bus I was thinking, man, the only Parks I know are Koreans. Like, who is this sassy Korean lady? She sat in the front row seat and refused to leave. I'm like, yeah, typical Koreans. And then I saw her picture, I was like, wow, she looks kind of dark for a Korean. You sure she's not Filipino? I like this part, you guys laugh. That side of the room.
You'd have to know Filipinos.
There's a.
But it's not a bad take. The whole
No, it's
park.
Not bad joke, yeah.
Korean.
You never seen in China before. I was like, hell yeah, it's gonna be groundbreaking technology. Turns out he just showed me a bunch of sex ads on Craigslist. And he said, hey, don't try to call these numbers, buddy, because some of them might be cops. I was really confused looking at all the hot girl pictures. I went, ooh, hot girl. She might be a cop. Another hot girl. Oh, she also might be a cop. But then this one girl, she says, no African American man, please. I'm like, come here, Adam. This one, she's definitely not a cop. Like, if I know anything about cops in America, they're not gonna go, oh, guys, let's run a sting operation on Craigslist. But you know what? Let's leave the black people alone. They had it rough already. Definitely not a cop. I met this basketball player from Slovakia. His name is David. I hate that guy because he acts like he's better than other immigrants. But he insists that we call him by his ethnic name. Like, oh, my name is not David. It's David. David Nicole Pentovich. I'm like, speak English, motherfucker. David Nicole Pentovich. Shut up and dribble. Go play for the Mavericks. Go earn your ethnic name.
I like that he understands context, so
yeah,
that's the only thing important to me.
There's even a song about it. You guys know Led Zeppelin, right? Led Zeppelin is a band from England, and they wrote a song called Immigrant Song. And that song is about how white immigrants coming into this country just, just the cockiest immigrant you ever see. They sound like they were about to invade a Chick-fil-A. Real immigrants don't sound like that. Like, I know my friend Martin wasn't crossing the border going, I compromise.
It's getting applause breaks.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Have you ever seen him before?
It's been a really tough year for Asian people in this country. It's been a very tough year. We just had a mass shooting in Atlanta. This guy, crazy guy, went to 3 Asian businesses, shot and killed 6 Asian women, and then proceed to leave the scene in a Hyundai Tucson. I'm like, yo, if you hate Asians, do it right. Don't drive our cars. Right? How can you love guns but hate Asians? We invented gunpowder. Right? No Asians, no gunpowder, no American Revolution, and all the white people in this country will still be talking quite like the British. You're welcome. Yeah, can't live without Asians. Because Asians are smart, we invent stuff, but we don't take credit.
That was a bit of a stretch, but
That's why you know the
I liked that he was
gunpowder.
going after white people that way, so that was cool.
That's one thing I don't like.
A guy named Who.
What?
When people just use white people as like a punching bag and don't really make anything out of it.
You guys invent
But
shit,
he
you take
used them
credit.
against them, so that's
Yeah.
cool.
It's
Yeah.
like when you were a
was
kid,
like-
even if you just draw a fucked up looking picture, your parents be so proud. Like, oh my God, Trevor, this is so amazing. You're so amazing. Let me put it on the fridge. But meanwhile, some Asian kid made that fridge. You don't even know his name. There's no Asian kid named Canmore. Fucking piss me off. Man, 2 weeks ago, on a Sunday night, I went to downtown Dallas for the Stop Asian Hate rally. Downtown Dallas, Sunday night, it was business as usual. There was no boarded up window. I'm like, fuck, you think I won't do it? Like, fuck you, Target, show some respect. They don't take us seriously. They don't take us seriously because we don't run the country. And you can always tell who run the country just by the way they protest. Like, white people, your protest is more demanding. Your chants are tough. Like, stop the count, storm the Capitol, hand my pens, Jews will not replace us. You give us a really long to-do list. It's very demanding. Like, Asian protests, we didn't even say yellow lives matter. We just want you to stop messing with us. Just stop being mean to us.
Like, that was a cheap one.
Stop it.
That was what?
That was a cheap one.
Yeah, that was.
What do you want? We're open.
Well, unless it's, hold on.
Stop it. We'll give you extra soy sauce. What do you want? We're open.
It's still not a. You know what though? It's still not a bad set. Like for sure.
He's not having a terrible set, no.
Yeah, but there's some hack to it. But you know, who's above
After
that?
the protest, I was smoking a cigarette outside, and a homeless person came up to me asking for money. So I give him $1, and this guy took the $, immediately changed his face. He said, excuse me, sir, can I just buy a cigarette from you? I'll give you $1. I'm like, bro, are you trying to buy a cigarette from me with my money? Like, what's going on? I was really confused, but we still did the transaction. That's when I realized, man, this guy is actually super smart. He knows my weakness. Because there are 2 things in this world a Chinese person cannot resist. Lending money to America. And selling stuff that costs $1. Hey, that's my time, you guys. Thank you so much.
This is not bad. That last joke was pretty smart.
You're gonna love this guy. He
Here,
needs
here.
no introduction. You've seen him on Kill Tony's show. Give it up for the one and only Tony Hinchcliffe.
more time for the filthy little fucking chink that was just up here. All you fucking race traders are hooping and hollering. I'm back there watching you puking in a fucking bucket. Oh, we making a gunpowder. Oh, you want extra soy sauce. Oh, you borrow money from us. And you guys just eating it up, you fucking pussies. Look at you fucking fake bitches in this room. I don't even want to make you guys laugh. I don't even like you anymore. These fucking Chinese people, they find out we have flying bats every night, and here they come. Ooh, flying soup. And you guys just eating. I love the liberal chicks just holding strong. Can't even smile at this, huh? No way, we can't even bend. This guy's being serious. He must have hate in his blood. We live so far east of the 35. How can I look my Asian nerd barista in the eyes tomorrow if I laugh at this? Fucking pussies everywhere. I'm so sick of this.
Rembrandt, Picasso.
Bringing it back.
This is true. Away from all those fucking liberal smartasses just to move here around a bunch of liberal dumbasses.
That's funny.
All my friends fucking lied to me. Joe Rogan, Ron White, they're liars. They said, get out of LA, move here, get away
Name
from
drop.
the traffic and homeless people.
Well, that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah. We good because it's like 20.
So that kind of puts it into context right there for me, man. So like now I am like able to, at least talk about it.
Okay. Let's hear your, because you didn't even hear that much. Or you didn't even hear like the initial video, right? You saw that?
I saw the initial one.
Oh, okay.
But it was just, like I said, it didn't give me enough context.
Okay.
So now I can see what it is. Basically, he was just trying to ride the wave of China versus white people, or China versus America.
Yeah.
And then he was just trying to make a joke about all you white people are fucking race traders, like turning it around on them, shaming them, so to speak,
Yeah.
I see what he was going for, I think it was just very, very dumb. It was a very, very dumb, very, very, very dumb thing to do, Tony Hinchcliffe. It was just dumb.
But the thing
But I mean, I don't. As a comic, I'm like, he was trying something,
yeah.
and then he tried too hard. he leaned into it, but that's what he does.
There it is. Yeah.
That's what he does. He leans into it, and then you can tell he like leaned into it even more to the point where it was like, even I was like, all right, bro, when are the jokes coming? Let's go, man. It can be scary to certain people, especially he's like sitting that high up. I just think it was executed poorly. That's how I feel. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's what happened after. Tell me, man, because to me, it's like, so this guy ends up going and getting a lot of publicity over it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And
I hear a lot of people saying that, Tony's been trying to reach out to him and he was like ignoring him the whole time.
Oh, because it's too much clout. Why would you? This is where, after the initial incident, after that, you just get your lawyers. Your lawyers do all the talking. Like, because the question is, how much do you want to pay me to retract this story? Are
they suing him?
No, I'm joking, but I'm just saying. But technically, I mean, if you not saying he's suing him, but if it's like you want me to say something positive, then that's gonna cost you.
That's kind of a dirty move, though, man.
I'm making a scenario up.
I know.
This is not. I don't want to put anything on these two people.
The part of me that I was and I won't say the name of these comics, but I was hanging out with them the other night and we were talking about this. And we had like one of the scenarios is that Tony did try to reach out to him.
How did they find that out?
I've heard this through other comics that I was talking to from what they've heard. Okay.
Yeah.
And that he didn't. He kind of like stonewalled him the whole time, and then he wrote that thing or like made that statement or whatever, and got all this publicity from it, and that and then like we were like, if that is the case, then that's really fucked up on Peng's part.
Yeah. Well,
and it is kind of fucked up. I mean, it's like we're comedians. We're out there just trying to. How many times have people come up after me and like started their set saying some racist shit, and they would get a laugh. And me personally, as a comic, I'm like, it don't even really bother me that much, especially if you like made a good laugh. And the thing is, like, after you come off that stage, I already know who you are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Tony invited him to the show.
Well, I don't know that much. I was going to say, though, based upon what you're saying, it's like, where does the camaraderie begin and end? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, for example, I will say that I come from a class of comedians that were a little tougher. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, everybody didn't come up in those same environments. So their environment is different. You know, I'm technically, even though I'm not a paid regular, but I'm a store guy in the sense of like, you know, before Kill Tony, before all that, you know what I'm saying? Back when there were only 3 hosts of the open mic, and they had like, you know, special ones, but the job of the host at the Comedy Store was, I don't even know how on purpose this was, but they would just roast the open micers. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? And Tony, it's so funny because Tony used to host the most out of everybody, and he brought me up plenty of times, and he's never said anything negative about me. You know what I mean? Never. But you know, before me and after me, destroy these people. Now, some people could say, "Oh, because I was a good comic." That's up to, you know, that's
or Tony made it to transition. He turned a corner, and then he started, you know,
not on me.
No, what I'm saying, he turned a corner. It's like he started doing that more as time went on.
No, he was. This is what he's good at. He's really good at roasting.
He's really good at it, man.
New comics. It's like it's a thing. It's like the way Joe Biden was up on those little girls. The way Tony be on new comics.
No shit.
Roasting. He'll destroy them, and he's really good at it. You know, I would say I think he'll be fine overall because, and this is just my own personal belief, when it comes to the whole cancel culture, as long as I think it's an integrity game, and as long as you're being genuine in what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? If you're genuinely, you know, of course not rape or anything like that, but like if they're trying to cancel you for something that you're known for, this is what you do, and they just happen to catch you in this moment, now it becomes a society question more than a personal. It's like, well, how come you guys are okay with it here and not here? Mm-hmm. Is it because of Asian Awareness Month? You know what I mean? Because, and I'm not trying to be, there is some like a little bit in there, but I know Ping, he did say like, his post, which was very general until the last little gotcha, was, hey, I brought Tony Hinchcliffe on stage and this is what he said about me. Happy, it was Asian Heritage Month or whatever it was, whatever. So I am acknowledging that in the same vein he was. But, you know, he left it very general on purpose. From what I heard, he actually was a Kill Tony fan. I don't know if he invited him or not, but he knew that's what Tony did. They know, you know, it's like that's just a language, you know what I mean?
And that's the thing that kind of like makes me, you know, look at Pang in a different light, you know? Like when you take this as a whole, it's kind of like, really? That's what you did? You went and kept it general and stuff? That's like, it's just the...
So you feel like he should have put something on there? Like, because let's just say he looks up to Tony, which I don't know if he does or not. Let's just say if he does. Should he have said something?
But did he put Tony on blast as being a racist?
No, I don't think I think he left it up to the people. That's what I'm saying. Like he just put, you know, hey, I had the honor of bringing Tony Hinchcliffe on stage, and this is what he said about me. You know what I'm saying? Very, very general statement. But I still feel like the wink, the tongue-in-cheek moment was the Happy Asian Awareness Month or whatever, Asian, you know, like Heritage Month or whatever. It was just like, you know, look, this is what it's, you know, I think it's unfair, the microscope that they put comedians under, because, you know, the concept of making people laugh, saying the thing that's against the grain in order to cause laughter. Real laughter is an involuntary, it's an autonomic function. You know what I'm saying? It's like sneezing. You know what I'm saying? Like you have control of it, but it's limited control. True laughter, you should not see coming because it's not the best laugh that's in you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit!
So,
sorry.
So in the attempt to do that, which I can feel Tony doing, which some people say was no laughs. There was laughs. I mean, he got the crowd. You know what I mean?
He did get the crowd.
You know, You know, but like you said, was it the best move? Probably not. He probably would have been off making like a comment towards it, maybe stopping at race traders or something like that. But yeah, definitely which I'm gonna just go ahead and start saying it, the C word. And I think the impression, that was too much. I wouldn't do that ever. Like
Not now.
the impression, but that's what I'm saying. That means it's a society thing more than a Tony Hinchcliffe thing. So it's Tony.
I would
Hinchcliffe
do a
problem?
Chinese accent on stage if it was an attempt to make, you know, a good one. I mean, it would have to be done right. You'd have to do it right. Otherwise,
You have to do a person. You can't do a general unless you know the culture that well.
listen, man, I think you can get away with stuff so long as it's funny.
So you feel like Tony's comments weren't funny?
What, at the top? The whole race trader thing?
I'm sorry. I thought it was funny. I just thought it wasn't.
You thought it was funny?
It made me laugh. Just put it that way.
The whole race traders?
I thought it was funny. It got me. It's involuntary. I laughed.
Yeah.
I laughed. I didn't. You know.
I mean, you also know Tony.
I mean, we're not best friends at all.
No, but you know him, so like, I think that kind of changes it a bit. When I saw it, it's funny. I'm not saying it's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
The whole turning on the white guy turning on the white people for fucking laughing at the Asian guy making fun of white people. That's a very funny concept. Yeah. I think his execution was off.
I thought he just didn't but I don't know. But his execution was off because of the timing. But he was being taught 100% Tony Hinchcliffe. Like that's something that these are things that Tony would say.
Oh, I know, but he don't mean it.
Yeah, I mean in the sense of comedic timing, he didn't mean it. I can't, you know.
I think the C word was just you could have done without that. I think that's where I fucking came out of the. I was like, all right, dude, really?
Well, I think it's educational for me because I didn't know. This is educational for me because I didn't even know that word was still in rotation. I thought that was like
that's in like rotation or not.
That's like if somebody started playing MC Hammer right now. I'm like, oh, you're getting all vintage on me.
Chink is bad, dude. I would see people. I remember when I was a kid. I forgot who it was. We was in Brooklyn, visiting family, and then this kid. I don't know what race he was. He might have been Russian or whatever. And he's like, "Let's go to Chinktown."
Nah, bruh.
And then I was like, what's Chinktown? And he went, a chink, 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 chink. I mean, it's a really, really, it's a fucking like the word, the way it sounds, it like denotes so many like almost like all the racial stereotypes of Asian people into one word.
Yeah, my thing is, well, I think there's others, but I'm not gonna say those either. But I think with that guy's attempt, that was a poor. That's like
kids. We're kids, bro.
Okay,
we were really young.
This is like, I'm about to say because he's like it's almost like he's going out of his way to be a racist. That's not required.
He probably learned it from his dad. You know what I'm saying? It's probably one of those things, man.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. But then, like, what I'm saying is I've heard that word used to talk shit about Asians. That's not a good one, man. So when he said that one, I was like, whoa, you went there, and then the accent.
That like I said, man, that to me was the, whew, bro. You trying to?
That's what I'm saying. I thought it was just dumb, man. It was not a good move. I think staying on the whole race traders thing without doing all that would have been funny.
There you go.
I think he could have really just kept riffing on that.
Yeah.
You motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know, just let China. You know what I mean? You could do stuff like that.
But you don't think he was going in on the guy's set too, or no? You don't feel like that? I feel like he was like making commentary about dude's set as well. You don't think so?
Didn't feel like it to me.
Yeah,
it felt like to me he was just trying to make something funny, and that was it. I think he just was trying. I'm gonna go back to the C.
Yeah, but I'd say that the dude. I will say his name is Peng, right?
Peng.
Yeah, I think his set was a decent set. It was not a bad set. It had low moments, but it was not a bad set.
I thought it was a good set.
So I can't. I thought it was just a bad set. That's why I was just like, I was gonna stay away from that set completely.
Hold on. I'm not showing it. I'm just gonna play it so we hear it.
Nah, bro.
Filthy little fucking, you know. So he already said the fucking terrible word, and then he added filthy little. Fucking.
Yeah, the adjectives.
I mean, that doesn't help.
And
Okay.
it's not like he did anything to trigger that. It's not like because he brought him up with such
Respect.
Yeah.
But
The one,
listen,
the only.
I understand misdirection of energy. I think that's funny. Like what he's doing already.
Yeah.
I want him to succeed.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I love that. I love when a comic can come in there and then just change the fucking energy and make it work. And that's what it seems like he's attempting to do.
Yeah.
Right? But man, that was like, I think that was. It didn't seem like he was.
And he's mocking him. Like he's mocking Ping directly. It's not like he's mocking Asian people.
I honestly don't. Watching this, I don't feel that he was making fun of his set. He was just using an opportunity to say, like, I mean, he highlighted 3 things in his set that were very good points that are in his set that got white people to laugh at that.
Right.
And all those things were how Chinese are fucking over white people.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're speaking towards, and that's why I like context. You're speaking towards the comic, like the athlete, the athletic part of comedy.
Yes.
Like he's you like the game plan he came into.
He was listening.
Yeah.
He was listening.
Yeah.
And his plan was, I know, I'm going to come in and I'm going to play the fuck you white people for laughing at that joke. How dare you? Right? I think that's great. It's great. I think him thinking of that offstage is great. What a misdirection.
Yeah.
So white guy get up there, now he's going to berate the white people for laughing at that joke, you know?
Right.
I think that's funny.
Yeah.
I've done that before with I did like sometimes I'll do shows in black room. I did a show in like an all black room in Detroit.
And you did that?
No,
I'm
and then there was two Arab girls in the front,
Uh-huh.
and the whole time they were like taking a picture of this black guy who was like on the stage and he's like talking about how he fucks and everything, and she's like woo, whatever, right? She's like she doesn't know I'm there, and then finally I get on stage and I do the misdirection of like I'm gonna tell your parents on you. You think fucking whatever this that. You think I don't know where your family's from? You know, so that worked, right?
Right.
And I see that attempt that he's trying to do here,
Yeah.
and I think it's smart.
Uh-huh.
And I think that he already listened to Peng's set and he's like, okay, yeah, he's talking about the stealing money. That's how fuck you to white people. I'll get mad about that.
Yeah.
He's saying this, that, the other thing. I'll get mad about that. So he highlighted 3 things.
Or he was really mad at it.
Now imagine everything he said without the racism, what a good setup that would be.
Yeah. I see. That's the part.
That's funny. What he's saying is funny though.
And he's also
the words that what he's saying is funny. You know?
When he's speaking,
But he threw me off with that. Why you got it? Now it sounds like you're fucking hating. You hate this guy.
That's what I'm saying. It's and also, you know, the more I listen to it, the more it's like, oh, he's mocking him. Like that is a bad thing. But you know, I'd say as a comic, I definitely do get the game plan, and that's him being totally him. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and also this is my real statement. I feel like you live by the sword, you die by the sword. In a sense of like, if you are, you know what you do is negative. Like Tony's made a lot of money off of essentially negativity. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. It's a tool, just like being overly positive, which we consider pandering. You know what I'm saying? If you pander, sometimes you win the audience over, but sometimes they sense the pandering and they're like, nah, it's gross.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Same way, if you diss somebody, sometimes you can diss, and you poke too far and now you struck blood.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I think that's what he did with strike blood. But you know, it's Russian roulette, man. Tony has been very successful at Russian roulette. He's won this whole time dissing people and them enjoying it, the crowd enjoying it. I mean, had he said they're gonna kill Tony, this might not even be a story. You know what I'm saying? But
Possibly.
because he said it in a different context. And the impression. That's the one that I cannot.
I look at this and I'm just like, that's just a misstep. It's just a very bad decision.
Tell me this, because I remember when Theo Hughley, I seen him when he got COVID, and you saw that when he passed out on stage.
Yeah.
I thought comedy was done.
Oh, you thought that was like the end of everyone going to shows?
I thought they were like, because I thought we were cool as long as no big comic openly caught COVID at a comedy club, and and he fainted on stage.
He did,
and I was like, they're gonna make us the enemy. I thought for sure
they're gonna make it what?
They're gonna make us the enemy. Like, because that many people gathered, they were like, there's no reason for anybody to gather under those. So I thought that was it. Do you think that this moment has affected comedy culture in any way? Or are we like back to business as usual?
I think we're going to be in a boom.
A boom of?
Really good fucking shows going forward. Okay. I feel like it changed the dynamic of what we think a show can and can't, where it can be. Mm-hmm. I think there's going to be shows on Zoom still.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm talking about this Tony thing.
Oh, this Tony thing you mean?
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to change the culture of comedy?
Yeah, I mean, because I was like this. I mean, not that I ever was going to say the word, but now I'm glad, because I know not to use it at all. I didn't know it was that, I didn't know it was the N-word of Asia, but now, you know what I'm saying? But that's just a small part. I'm saying, what is the, what I mean? Are we going to shift more PC, or is it going to be like, you know what? We riding with Tony. We saying whatever we want. Like,
I think it's just going to make people more, I think all of this censorship that's going on is going to create another generation that's going to look at that as being so dumb and antiquated.
Yeah,
that rock and roll in comedy is going to come back.
Yeah. I agree. Mm-hmm.
And right now we're going to be in this really shaky terrain where it's going to be a battle of the, I'm going to say what I want to say and make it funny. Mm-hmm. And the, oh no, keep everything safe and cuddly. Mm-hmm. And I think there's going to be space for both. Mm-hmm. So long as there's a space for both.
I mean, that was a space for both. It's like this.
I don't want everyone to be like comedy has to be this thing. It shouldn't.
You know what sucks is having to play. It's like, you can't even call it the back of the room anymore, because playing to the back of the room used to be like what you call a comic. But to me, it's like, I guess, playing to the world. Like, it can't just be what's happening in this room now. You have to make sure that your humor works in this room. And if they write an article about whatever you said, it works there too. You know what I'm saying? Because Pink said it'll make a good article. You know what I'm saying? It'll make a nice positive article. Like, Asian American comedian, tells his truths about white society during Asian awareness.
I mean, listen, in Peng's defense, he almost it's like, yo, I can see how you can use this to catapult yourself.
Is it going to catapult him? Because it could be.
Yeah, I think it's going to backfire.
I'm about to say, it could be like,
or it could
do nothing.
It could gain him a bigger following of people who likes his writing, likes his joke, likes his style.
It could do nothing. You remember Hannibal Buress? It did nothing. That Cosby thing did nothing for Hannibal Buress.
Did it do nothing?
Nothing. People like to say like, oh, it helped his career. I said, how? He's literally the same comic he was.
Is he?
He was just as good, getting just as many deals, doing just as amount of work. He hasn't it's not like he's like some super A-lister that's in every movie now.
No.
You know what I mean? And it's not like
I see less of him now.
I've seen the same amount. I think he's great at comedy. I think he'll drop a special this year. He'll probably be cameo in 2 films. And, probably maybe on a TV show or 2.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not like
I don't know. Right now with this whole Asian hate thing, I could see someone parlaying this into something positive. But then a lot of that also do you have the thing that people are looking for? So if you already have a thing that people are looking for, maybe you have a good look about you, or maybe something about your life story or whatever is intriguing. I can see that catapulting you, right? But I don't know. At the same time, aside from catapulting, what if he gets now, a few hundred or a few thousand more people listening to his shit?
Yeah.
But is that worth the disrespect to the craft and to the people around you, the people that you work with, the people that you look up to? You know, like right now, Tony Hinchcliffe is getting like, you know, skewered in the headlines. Whether that means shit or not, I hear he's still selling out no matter what. You know,
I mean, he's
Tony Hinchcliffe. There's, you know, I think if anything, this is just going to get him more people.
That's why I say I think this will be a blemish, and I mean, I think literally magazines and like articles that never knew he existed now know he exists.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, it could be they both could flip this into a win-win, really. You know, at the end of the day, because Tony was never going to be America's champion in that way. So, you know, he'll always be like the anti-hero. Yeah. So if he sticks to the anti-hero role, he'll be perfectly fine. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not like when Kevin Hart got caught cheating on his wife. That was a big deal because Kevin always kind of made himself a Boy Scout. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Sure. You know, Bill Cosby.
That's a very good way of putting it. He made himself a Boy Scout.
Yeah, yeah. He was like, oh,
I'm the model guy to follow.
Yeah, he would talk down, you know, well, I shouldn't say talk down, but he would say this is how you should live your life. Like, hey, guys, you know, you need to do that. Don't be lazy. Do this, do that.
Work out, you know, finances.
This is my rib. He called it my rib. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, next you know, but, you know, Tony's not, at no point did he make himself, you know, like, I just love everybody and I think everybody are equals. And I just, like, racism, what's that? It's like, if there's a racist joke to be made, it's happening, yeah, Tony's going to take it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to not take it.
I don't know. What do you think, man? Do you think it's going to slow things down? Do you think things are going to get more censored now because of this?
I think we are reaching a boiling point. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't really believe in the overall like you know, some people think it's gonna get stuck in that way. I already said this. It's the whole same thing, the whole Rembrandt Picasso thing. I just feel like it's like I said, it's art.
It's cyclical.
Yeah. And I think it's just gonna get to a point where it's gonna be boom. And it's gonna be like
fuck
extreme.
The opposite direction.
Yeah. You know, shoot, man, I was a big wrestling fan back in the day, man. Did you watch wrestling?
Yeah, when I grew up as a kid.
Yeah, like shoot, Hulk Hogan,
all
those guys were clean. They were clean cut, man. And even the bad guys, they thought they weren't doing that. You know, they all look like rock stars in the ring and stuff. And
King Kong Bundy.
Yeah, and then you had the WCW and the WWF Attitude Era, where literally Stone Cold Steve Austin was the biggest act because he was going against. Yep. Yeah, he was the bad. He was the badass.
The heel.
Yeah.
He was the real. Then it split NWA.
Yep.
The New World Order.
So like that's what I feel like was going to happen. It's going to be like, you know, there's going to be an extreme push. You know what I mean? I don't know exactly what that looks like, but I think I don't know. It depends on who you ask, but I think I'm in that category as far as like the you know, the wild. I don't say wild comics, but I say some offensive shit. So
I say offensive shit all the time, bro. I do, man. That joke that I did at the Roosevelt, I closed it out with, was so stupid.
Yo, where's your article at?
I'm not white, and no one knows me. Fuck, man. It's stupid. It's a joke that's gonna work, bro. It's gonna fucking work. But
yeah, well, it's a privilege to be able to work out our shit though in private.
What do you mean?
The fact that, you know, it's a lot of celebrities that they can't really, you know, I mean, it's also a privilege to be a celebrity. Fuck that, right? Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, you know, the fact that we get to work on our craft night after night after night, as opposed to like
having to wait for a show.
Well, not wait for a show. Just like the fact that we say something and say we trip up somewhere in what we're saying, that's instantly the story. That becomes the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that, you know, we can, you know, go over our shit and go like, oh, I'm gonna take this word out.
Make mistakes.
Yeah,
exactly. That's why Patrice O'Neal said it the best, man. He said something about good jokes, funny jokes, and bad jokes are all birthed from the same place. Yeah, the attempt to make something funny.
Absolutely,
you know. But real quick,
let's get it.
Why can't we say the N-word?
You want to put this here? You know why? Because, bitch, man, what?
Hey, I'm gonna put the camera on you. I'm gonna make us another real drink real quick. I'm gonna put the camera just on you. Go talk to not that camera.
The audience.
No. Yeah. Talk to the camera.
Why can't?
And
why can't we, who as a society? What is this?
Why can't even brown guys say the N-word like me, like Indian people, you know, or whatever?
Us back to that hurtful place. Where psych? That's what most people say. Nah, man. I mean, look, man. Everything's culture. Everything is culture. I think culture, I always say I look at the money first, and after money, I look at the culture. Culture is more important to me than race because there's subcultures amongst races. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, the reason why, I'll say as America as a whole, the reason why the N-word, the word nigga, is a bad word is not even because it hurts black people's feelings, because it hurts white people's feelings. It's because white people don't like being reminded of how terrible they were. They want to get past it. They be like, oh, that wasn't me. That was my great grandfather or grandma. It's like, nah, it's you. You're benefiting off of the off of the racism of that past. And look, it's okay because there's nothing more American than that style of racism, that generational wealth racism. You know what I'm saying? Black people were the first Bitcoin. I'll expand on that later. I said black people were the first Bitcoin. I'll expand on that now because, you can open something up like that. It's just like I'm just saying a hot take. Basically, money is a representation of a good or a service. Like the physical money is a representation of good or service. It's basically a commodity. You know what I'm saying? The commodity, commodity could be anything. It could be gold or, even in those days, cotton was a commodity. Whatever. It's just the money is a representation. I got you. Did you hear everything I said?
Kind of.
See, that's the problem. But I'm gonna get you. Let me just finish because you got me started. Anyway, only thing I'm saying is that your wealth back in the day was based upon how many slaves you had. You know what I mean?
Or cattle.
Yeah. Well. Our comparison was to that of cattle. You know what I'm saying? Just like today, if you see somebody with, 4 or 5 cars, you instantly go, oh, you got a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it was with slaves back in the day. So that's when I say black people were the first Bitcoin. That's kind of what I'm saying.
That's
like
interesting. That's a very
Abraham.
I mean, in the Bible, Abraham had slaves.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
And in the Old Testament, it spoke about how rich he was, and it talked about he had this many cattle, he had this many wives, he had this many slaves, he had this many whatever, and it was like listing out sort of like in an account, like this is how rich this motherfucker was, bro.
Yeah, I don't remember that part, but I need to brush up on my Bible anyway. But yeah, man. But that's just when I go back to that. But to the
why can't brown guys like me say the N-word?
That's what I was saying in an American culture. I would say in black culture, black American culture. That's just the rules. That's like culture doesn't have to make sense. It's a set of beliefs that identify, a characteristic of a group. But I would say overall, why the N-word is a bad word is because it brings back that white hurt. You know what I'm saying? And amongst black people, it's a term of endearment. Of course, it's a word of hurt, but only, coming from the outside in. But it's a language. Because I'll be honest with you, even for me personally, right? Which I'll say this because I know I said this earlier, though. I acknowledge the word nigga is a bad word, and I am trying to quit it like a cigarette. I feel like real smokers, they're always on their last one. That's my last one. It's been a tough day, and I just need one last one to express how bad my day was. But the word, because you hear all these explanations. Everybody has a different explanation, and a lot of it's just filled with emotion. You know what I'm saying? But really, you have to acknowledge what culture that you're walking into. You know what I'm saying? Because in certain cultures, specifically Black American culture, who have because most people just grow up in a culture. They don't go, oh, you know what? I'm 3. I know everything about this culture, and I say you can't say it. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in this culture, in this domain, with these sets and rules of things that I identify with, and here you come with your culture, your identity, and yours is impeding in mine. You know what I'm saying? And that makes me feel uncomfortable. And that's the best way to describe what's happening, because it's like it goes against everything I learned. You know what I'm saying? And I would say the biggest problem with white American culture, which is the dominant culture in our society, is they feel entitled to other cultures, specifically Black American culture. So that those two conversations are separate conversations. You know what I mean? As far as like why it's a bad word according to white America and why it's a bad word according to Black America. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think it'll ever be antiquated? You think it'll ever like black people would be like
no, because it's too cool of a word and people like saying it.
Yeah,
and if people even like the fact that I can say a word that affects you, you know what I'm saying, or vice versa. Like, it's
you don't think there's
stuff.
people that want to say it because they want to adopt the language because they like black people? Do you know what I'm saying?
Of course, but
that's
but once again, if it's going, that's still a impeding of your culture or your to this culture. You know what I'm saying? It's like if my culture has this set of rules and whatever, and you're like, I don't care, I still want to do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's some.
But you almost can't blame people who don't hate black people but want to use the word.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I understand
because
it.
Black people make everything fucking cool.
Yeah, but what also is cool is being born with wealth. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's if that's not
why
the
I
rules
didn't
of
like the
engagement.
That's why I didn't like the. You'd see certain racist people in Southeast Michigan try to equate the black poverty in Detroit, and then they would compare it to like how Arab immigrants moved in and then created wealth really quickly, started businesses really quickly. But here's the thing. This is the way I look at it, though. So I'm like, that's not a good example. Even if these Arabs were coming from a poverty from their country, they were still more than likely in a system where they were educated properly.
Oh my goodness.
They probably were not having to struggle as much.
Man, I wish I had. Give yourself an applause break, please.
Oh, you like that?
It's just basic shit, bro.
It's basic shit. It's the way I look at it. I'm like, yeah, sure. Maybe these Arabs came in here and they were fucking poor and they had nothing, but they did not have nothing. They had generational knowledge. They had a hustler's mentality. They had parents that learned to hustle in a specific way and teach them how to hustle in a specific way. Whereas, I hate to say this, Ben, but if you look at the history of this country, you can't sit there and say that, oh, it's a race thing. That's why black people in Detroit or so are like maybe living in poverty. There's so many things that are going against black people within the system, namely, slavery wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Chris Rock said this, if you were caught reading a book, you were like killed.
Yeah.
As a black man in this country.
Well, the thing is, and I'm not saying overall, but for this style of conversation, you have to take the emotion out of it, because a lot of people, everybody who has a dog in this fight will immediately bring all this emotional stuff into it. And I think the truth is America doesn't want to take credit for black people, black regression or progression. Like they want to act like black people are immigrants, and if they had total control over the history books and black people's opinions didn't matter, like if our actual existence wasn't validated, then it would be like, oh, there were some people who came and left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But it's the fact that, it's not that long ago. So the truth is that that's a part of American history. That's a part of all of our history. And even if you are an immigrant and you come over to America, you should learn about that the same way you learn about the Revolutionary War. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing. It's it's the truth. That's what it is. We acknowledge the truth, then we actually do something about it. We're still trying to get the full truth out. So the fact that people's feelings are hurt by the truth means we won't ever get a real solution. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, it's the white people who feel bad, but their version of fixing it is saying, I don't see racism. It doesn't exist. That was in the past. That's not me. I didn't do it. I don't owe you nothing. You could do for yourself. It's like, look,
This so short-sighted.
Look, all of this, we all were just thrown here at the end of the day. All of us. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, America doesn't mean shit because United States of America You know what I mean? Like I said, you definitely Canada's America. Sadly, South America's all of that shit's America. All of it's America. United States. Why are we so entitled to the term America?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Even United States. Like, isn't that oxymoronic statement? Like, are you together or separate? Tell me. You just like divorced people that's still fucking. I don't get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, the idea of America doesn't stack up to the reality. But that's inherent in literally from the Constitution, like how it's designed. Like even why we have court cases and there is a debate over, because it's not a totalitarian government, because this will be open and shut. And that's the beauty of America, is the fact that we can discuss these things, the
and
fact
change
that
it.
We have a voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
So it's not. I'm just saying that it doesn't have to be like a fuck white people conversation. It could be like acknowledge the truth, and we can get some stuff done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But we can't. Instead, we want to throw money at the problem.
Not enough. If they do enough, I'll shut up.
But do you think throwing money at black people is gonna fix shit?
Well, I do believe in reparations, but it's what kind of reparations?
Yeah, that's what I want to know, because to me, it's like, why? It's so messy, because it's like if you just give people money, but then you don't educate those people what they can do with that money, that wealth would just be blown out in no time flat.
Well, I have to switch the context, but let us educate ourselves then. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, I believe I do have some radical ideas. I always acknowledge when I'm crossing over to a different, school of thought or whatever. But I believe the main reason why is because we are like people without a land, without a home. You know what I'm saying? It's like, imagine you have all this money, right? But you have no bank account. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like you have a bunch of money, but no bank account. That's like what it's like being black in America. You know what I'm saying? Because other nationalities, whatever, they still have like a home to divert to. Or I can't tell you how many people I've met, and they be like, who's working, busting their ass, Mexican people or just other races, and they be like, they love talking about their family. You know what I'm saying? Even African people, they be like, oh, I'm doing all this and that, but I'm doing it for my family. And when I get this, they're gonna come over here, and I'm gonna do that. And that's building. You know what I'm saying? But because even like the transfer of money and the trade system, even bringing your culture to this, because you can open up a Chinese restaurant or even a Jamaican spot, and you start making money off of that. You know what I'm saying? But Black American like culture is still American culture, and at the end of the day, that money is still made by I use this term loosely because I know that it entails, but it's specific. But the white man. You know what I'm saying? Because they're entitled to black culture. My proof is that we just celebrated Jay-Z, Kanye West, Dr. Dre becoming billionaires in hip hop within the last like 3 years. Right? Now, has hip hop as a whole garnered $1 billion ever?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. It garnered $1 billion. Hip hop was invented back in 1978. It probably made $1 billion back by 1985. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But the majority of that money being made was not made by black people who were the origins of that culture.
Right, because it's the music industry.
Because
the record labels.
All because they didn't have a home. The home was here. So the that hip hop culture is an American culture. You know what I'm saying? If black people have a home, anyway, because there was a question asked, so let me acknowledge the question. I believe that if there was some form of I don't want to make like a black island somewhere, because I feel like they just blow that shit up. Solve that problem. All right. Anybody else feeling radical today?
Who wants to move to Black Island?
Yeah. But
fuck.
Yeah. But I feel like if they had some just territories, I guess like Native Americans had reservations in America that were like basically considered their own country, but also still a part of America in certain aspects or whatever, where they had their own money, their own city halls, their own government systems, stuff like that.
Tax exempt.
Yeah. Maybe not. I just feel like it'll encourage trade. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the thing.
So you're saying like have a black state?
Not one, like multiple, but a territory, like an area,
like a reservation.
Ish. You know what I mean? Because
Why ish?
Because when we're dealing with words, each word kind of triggers a school of thought. It's like prohibition. Prohibition specifically speaks to not being allowed liquor. It's like an era of time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the word prohibition is not specifically reserved for liquor.
True.
So reservation specifically speaks to
But
Native
something
Americans,
like
stuff
that.
But yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Where like Black Americans have sort of a territory.
A bank to put their culture. You know what I'm saying? And to pull and then you can establish trade, because that's what actually quiets down tension amongst races is, well, initially, I don't want to get to the deeper part of it, but trade. You know what I'm saying? When Osama bin Laden attacked the World Trade Center, that wasn't just because it was the tallest building on the planet. He's like, yo, I'm gonna hit you where it hurts.
Yeah, for real.
Because that's where you fucked us at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the symbol
Yeah.
of your economy, your strength.
Economy, exactly.
You know?
Because if they just wanted to do some dope shit for theatrics, they could have just hit the
White House.
Statue of Liberty. Yeah, or the White
Statue
House
of
or some
Liberty.
bullshit. You know
Ain't
what I'm
shit in the Statue of Liberty, but one fat security guard that barely walks up to the top.
Yo.
Fuck. And a bunch of tourists.
But it's all about trade. It's all about money. That's why I say follow the money. Racism could be a distraction. If you follow the money, you'll get to the truth.
Wait a
man.
minute. I've always said this. Racism is the distraction.
Yeah.
Do you know Noam Chomsky?
No.
You don't know Noam Chomsky?
Educate me.
He's an author who writes political books, and he's a very
It's me. It's not you.
liberal leaning intellect, right? And he has this term that, man, when I read this sentence, I was like, yo, he sums up America. He goes, in America, we have a class war disguised as a race war.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of truth to that.
It's the money.
It's the money.
That's the real issue.
Money first.
But they want us to fight
culture
over
second.
race. Fighting over race gets us nowhere, bro. Do you know that?
Well, yeah. I mean,
when we try to fight over racism,
yeah,
in the national stage, bro, it's an endless discussion.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Culture. I think fighting over culture is important, but only because of where the money is. You know what I'm saying? Not race. Because that's why it's really important to know difference. Because I even go as far as to say this, and this is probably the most controversial thing I say. I believe black culture and white culture exist together on a spectrum.
Oh, they're autistic. They get together and they're fucking autistic.
No,
is that what it is?
You're funny.
Is that why this whole fucking country's all fucked up right now?
No, but just
we gotta throw Arabs in the mix now, bro.
But like you say it, as far as
we can act like Modafinil, like we're the Provigil. We're gonna get in there and get you guys to like think straight.
No, I'm saying like you said, like it's the race war disguised, a class war disguised as a race war. It's kind of like saying the same thing, where it's since like how black something is almost how not white something is, and how not white something is almost how black something is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But
it's all polarized.
But that's American culture. That's like, well, United States of America, just because of what I said earlier, you know, I have to be specific. But that's if we acknowledge that the truth, but most people don't want to, because it's like saying that, it's almost saying like we're together. Like it's almost like I'm whitewashing black culture, and I'm not. I'm just saying that in this country, a lot of what we do have been based upon distancing ourselves from that, and not necessarily black America's choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, is for example, if somebody says you're acting unprofessional, you know what I'm saying? But what if it's my culture? It's professional in my culture. That's what the rules of engagement
kind of like
where
how,
I'm from.
Kind of like how some black people would get like discriminated for wearing dreadlocks to work.
Yeah. Like if I acted white in my neighborhood, I would not survive. You know what I mean? Like I would get my ass whooped.
Yeah, for real.
And robbed every day playing your game because I'm watching you do it on TV and telling me what I'm doing is wrong.
Or you're doing it in the burbs and that works there.
Yeah, and the only solid statement I'll say when it comes to that,
I won't survive.
I'm just saying, it's like, you know, but that's the culture. That's why culture's way more important than race. Culture is because when culture changes Like if you're in a car with a group of people, right? Y'all vibing out to some music, right? If y'all like, loud music, there's nothing wrong. If everybody likes it, cool, right? And then a cop pulls up. That's a different culture immediately.
Yeah.
That's a different, because it's not like the cop is there to protect or serve you or anything like that directly. You know what I'm saying? Because what's the protect and serve?
Right.
If you was doing the speed limit, you was minding your business and all that stuff.
Right.
It's cool. You know what I'm saying? Now it's an interrogation. You know the rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't play by the rules,
Yep.
you go. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. I think we should pay more attention to those things. But going back to the bigger thing, because I did kind of left a cliffhanger as far as the territories or whatever you want to call it, reservations. I feel like if we have reparation money, create these areas,
These zones
are fine
for black prosperity, so to speak.
and it's not like all black people got to move there, and if you don't, you're executed. It's just a land.
That would be cool, though. That would be so cool.
Well, did you know
if
how many
we
people-
gave black people like some territories, and one of them is like they treat it like some of those like places in Africa. Like if you just fucking show up, they harpoon you from a helicopter. It's fucking like that.
No, it's all are welcome. All are welcome. It's just to establish, like I said, a home.
Dramatic fucking killing, just like the fucking. You just hear the helicopter. Boom, 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 boom. What are you doing here? Swoosh.
See, look what you did. Look what you did.
I was racist about it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it funny.
You made us African.
I'm trying to make it funny. Yeah. Wakanda style.
If we were African, that's the problem though. If we were African, this would all be easier. But we're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We are black Americans,
true.
stripped of culture and
Absolutely.
history.
Absolutely.
Our history started the moment we got here, and it's just different. It's different because African people who come here still have a home. They are still a part of the immigration system.
It's different for them.
It's
man.
a different system.
It's different.
And I don't want to take away from anybody else's struggle.
No,
I'm just saying that
your
it's a
point.
different-
No,
yeah.
your point.
Yeah.
The point that you're saying is that Black Americans are Americans. They have nowhere else to go. They are here.
Mm-hmm.
They're descendants of some of the people that have been here since the fucking beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And since the beginning, this country has not been fucking good to them.
Yeah.
And right now, this country is still not good to them. And, however we do what we need to do, whether it's like you say, your territories thing, I think that could really be off-putting to a lot of people, that idea.
But I think, other
Some racist white people be like, what? You mean to tell me that they're going to leave here and go there? Fuck yeah, let's do that.
But they still gonna be here because it's still gonna be some that obviously that are integrated in the system and whatnot, and some is gonna do it. But it's the fact that you have the option. You have the option to be a part of your own culture and do it your way and all that stuff. And once again, we create a trade system based upon the money. People used to get mad about the money, but here we have Bitcoin, Dogecoin, all these cryptocurrencies, the blockchain currency. I mean, literally, the value of these things, these fictional currencies, is what you put into it. If we had a black dollar. You know what I'm saying? Literally a black dollar that's just like, it's not like it's a dollar that's just black on the cover. It's just like y'all dollar got George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and all them motherfuckers on it. That's going to have all the black people on it. And whatever value we put into it is what we're going to put into it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have its own system, its own inflation, its trade value.
You should start that,
You know what
bro.
I'm
That
saying?
sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah, it's gonna-
do
it's-
like a black coin.
Yeah, and it won't be, it don't have to be racist. Just like if this is racist, then that's racist.
Well, you know
what
that
I'm
there are those new banks now that are coming up. You probably know this, right? I think like
Yeah,
some
I did
hip hop
hear-
people that are involved in it.
Yeah.
Something about like it's like gonna be like black owned, and anybody else can put their money into it. But I think like a lot of the money that they take in is gonna be used towards helping black communities and stuff. How do you think about that?
No, I think
do you know
that's-
anything about that?
Yeah, I do know about that. I think it's a good idea, but it's still like if we're trying to solve the race issue, you know what I'm saying? That's a good step, but it's just like, it's kind of like what, I don't like giving this man that much validity, but it's kind of like what Kanye was saying when, he was like, man, they won't let me in. He's talking about like Ralph Lauren and all these big people, this like, pretty much fashion Illuminati, right? Kanye was like saying they won't let me in. And then Sway was like, dawg, why don't you just make your own t-shirt brand? He's like, they don't give a fuck about t-shirts, dude. Like, that's what he was saying. Like, he's saying, dude, that money versus this money ain't even close. You know what I'm saying? So once again, what's the point of making the money if I still got to put it in your bank? You know what I'm saying? So even their banks, that is the but even a bank in that society, in that place, it's still like it's not enough. Just put it that way. You need an actual territory where, because look how
Here's the problem.
Look how the government and the banks are in bed together. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a bank that the government is not in bed with, it ain't gonna survive.
Here's the thing that I have a problem with the way our government does things. Like the way our government has been trying to help black people, I have a conservative look on this, and it's not popular amongst liberal people or liberal people who are black. Giving money away to people is not the answer.
No, it's not.
You're going to end up giving a lot of money to a lot of people who are just going to spend it anyway.
But that's what they want. That's not the problem. The problem is inflation. Inflation. That's the problem.
Well, inflation's always the problem. But,
but that encourages it. I used to work for...
my thing is that giving money to people makes them lazy. So, for example, like right now, poor people in this country are enabled to be poor. So, for example, how crazy is it that if my mom, or let's not use mine, let's say me, I get cancer, right?
Okay.
Because I've been hustling and making money, and I'm above a specific tax bracket, I have to have my own health care, right?
Okay.
And I have to either maybe depending on my health care, I might have to pay out of pocket more, or I might have to fucking pay for the whole procedure because the healthcare that I got didn't pay for whatever it is that I need to take care of myself.
Okay.
I have more of a chance of going broke and or dying because I worked hard in this country. Okay. If you're poor in this country, everything gets paid. So if you're poor, if you fall under a specific tax bracket in this country, all your medical pills are paid for. How does that help anybody? So what you're doing is you're saying basically stay poor. So some people will use the system to stay that way, whether they hide what they make or they whatever. But I think like this idea of like just giving people money or enabling them in certain ways can sometimes hinder them. And I think a lot of poor black people and poor white people have been cheated by a system that was sloppily created to help them, but instead has enabled them to not achieve much in life.
I never look at the masses on that one. I always look at who's leading the ship, because there's a lot of deception in what's happening. Kind of like what you already just said it. You said that people play the system for them, because like on paper, the rich should be paying this huge amount of tax, you know what I mean, that it should balance out, because it's all about balance. It's not about poverty versus wealth. It's about balance. You know what I'm saying? Most times if there's a gross amount of wealth in an area, that means they were taking from an area where it could have been more moderation
or readily used.
Yeah. So I never look at, say, these poor people should be doing better for themselves. I always look for the focal point, which is where could this have shifted a little better? So if right now you're saying the healthcare system,
that's just one example.
Which is, I understand. That's what I say right now.
Another example is like if you're poor and you're on welfare, and in every kid you have, you get more money.
Yeah, but it's not
so
that.
Now
but you know it's not that black and white. You know it's not that black and white.
I don't know.
It's not that black and white. You know, because up like this, because especially within this past year, we just witnessed welfare. These stimulus checks are welfare, sir. That's actually one of the few benefits of being in this country. It's like, literally that's a part of our system. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the best countries to be broke in. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean everything's fair. It means that the numbers were cooked or pushed a certain way.
I just think we're enabling people too much.
But that's more to the mentality, not to what's on paper. You know what I'm saying? Like you're running. That's more of a psychological thing that, but it's more factors than that. You know what I'm saying? Because to say that, because I put like this. Okay, you made a broad statement about black culture, right? Now, mind you, I grew up amongst black culture. You know what I'm saying? What I didn't see was enablement or weakness. I seen strength. You know what I'm saying? You talk about hardworking black people.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I don't see
give me a second.
hardworking
Give me a
black
second.
people,
Give me a
bro.
second. Give me a second. I'm gonna get there. The black woman that did hair and nursing, those people were making drug dealer money. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big number of black people. A huge number of black people that were not tripping off of welfare. The masses of, the numbers on welfare when it comes to that. That is, at the end of the day, and it's not a racial thing, it's a numbers thing. There's more white people on welfare than there are black people.
I'm not talking about just black or white.
I know you're not. You're not. I'm just, having the full welfare conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But once again, I don't blame if anything, all that's good. The thing is getting that average person to that, but making the information readily available. Are we teaching that in schools?
That's the thing.
But it's not on. They're doing it. They're specifically not doing it on purpose, right?
Of course, because they're just trying to create workers. They're not trying to create intellectual people who can think themselves out of poverty.
Yeah, but it's designed that way, so we can't go after the poverty people ever. You see what I mean?
Let me go after them.
You can't say that they're enabled to do less. It's just not even. It just wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's all to make the wealthy people, to keep the wealthy people wealthy. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, trying to lift people out of poverty in this country is not a thing. Then the systems that they create to say, look, we're helping poor people, actually just enables them to stay poor. And that's what I'm worried that reparations will end up being. Reparations will end up not, instead of just lifting black people out of poverty, teaching them, giving them the tools, especially the black people who need it, who need that education to be able to learn how to invest, why you need to invest, get that investment bug in you where you're like, now you're looking at your money as an opportunity to make more money.
Yeah, but most people, it'll never work to where the masses, that'll never be a majority.
No,
you understand that, right?
But but
you understand why that can't be, right?
I think the majority of people just don't want to work that hard.
But they can't, because in order to obtain that, you have to get it from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's all about, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be dope if everybody had a certain amount of money on.
Here's another thing. How about the way the public school systems are set up? I just think they should teach. I don't like how the public school systems are set up, especially like in Detroit, man. Like if you are a smart kid that happens to have parents that are poor, and your parents live in a specific district where the school is underfunded, and that kid could excel better at a better school, you can't take that kid to a school that has better performance. Your kid is stuck to the school that's attached to your zip code.
Yeah.
And that really fucking screws over a lot of people that are in poverty.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? Just like these people who, everybody makes the system work for them. Just put it that way. I've witnessed that too. But I do hear what you're saying on the reparations front, and that's why I don't want to just give a bunch of people a bunch of money. Yeah. But I do think there should be some cash payout. But this idea
of this territory for black people, I can always see like a really cool movie coming out of that, bro.
Maybe I should write the movie. But
a really, really cool movie coming out of that.
But the thing is, and this is only what I have so far. You know what I'm saying? But all of it, because even what you're saying, like the way to prevent that is, like I said, let them teach themselves. You know what I mean? Because their system won't be the exact same system. We
got to start transitioning into hip hop real quick. But somebody asked a question. Jeremy, how do you feel about Killer Mike's bank? Jason Bacon asks.
Yeah. Well, Killer Mike, that's actually the main one I was thinking of. Like I said, I think it's a good idea. I just think that once again, that's kind of why I came up with the whole, territory idea. I just feel like we need a land. We need more than just a bank, because it still has to play by. I mean, if it's in a bad neighborhood, then what's a good bank in a bad neighborhood? And if you put it in a great neighborhood, at the end of the day, it's just like we need more of that. You know what I mean? We need a infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? One bank is not enough to have an infrastructure.
Yeah, but it's a good start, right?
It's a great start, and I think it's Killer Mike is I get so jealous of Killer Mike.
Why?
Because like the way my brain works is the way his brain works, and I'd be like, oh man, I wish I thought of that. It's just like you see a comic tell a good joke,
right?
You're like, not the bank idea, but just other stuff he said and done. I'd be like, oh,
he's aggressive about it though, man. He's a hustler. Hey, real quick though, so we gotta talk hip hop. J. Cole, you said there's something you want to talk about J. Cole and hip hop?
J. Cole just dropped a new album called
I heard it was fire.
It is great. It's a hardcore hip hop album. Thank God. He is spitting for his life. It's called it's Off Season. The Off Season.
It's good.
Yes. Yeah, man. Everybody's waiting for Drake and Kendrick. And it was always about Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. Like, what are they gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And yo, man, J. Cole came with it. So I hope I
haven't listened to it yet, man.
Yeah, you got to, man. You got to. I think you'll like it. I don't know.
Joe Budden?
That's not hip hop. You want to talk about that?
I love talking hip hop with you, but Joe Budden's not hip hop?
Well, okay. Well, the topic isn't hip hop. He's not a rapper anymore. But just real quick on Joe Budden, he was one of my favorite rappers at one point. Like I did put him up there. Literally, a lot of people just know it for Pump It Up, but that whole album was one of my favorite albums. But yeah, the reason why I brought up Joe Budden though is because Joe Budden got in trouble because one of his biggest gripes, he's always been an anti-industry person. You know what I'm saying? One of his biggest gripes with the industry, it was that the fact that they don't give you ownership over your stuff. They tend to have like I'm in control of you, and if they do give you something, it's like a percentage of a percentage. You know what I'm saying? And here, run away with that. You should be happy. You know what I mean? Most rappers, if they make, $100,000, like, hey, that's your budget for your entire album. You buy a couple of chains, a couple of cars, all that stuff. Not even 100,000, 500,000. Let's go up there a little more. It used to be like a million back in the day. But you do that to look like a rapper, and then they make all this money off your album and your likeness, and then you go broke, and they go, well, what happened? You know what I'm saying? But it's because you didn't own your masters, you didn't own your publishing, you didn't own any of the stuff that they're making money for a lifetime. You can't even get health care. Because you're not in the bracket.
So fucking stupid.
You're above the bracket to make health care, but your income is done. So look, to validate your point. But Joe Budden, who preaches that, who's literally he's butted heads with every part of the industry, from Def Jam to Interscope to even Eminem to Complex
to
Spotify. He's literally had problems with them, saying that they would not give him ownership or not giving him what he's just due, so he left the company. So here he is, he got the Spotify deal, he got another deal, I forgot the company, but his co-workers, the people that worked for him, who started the podcast with him, they asked for ownership. They wanted a percentage of the Joe Budden podcast because they are the co-hosts. And he told them no. And they said, well, can you at least let us know how much money you're making? And he said, you're going to have to get your lawyer. And
so now he's playing that game.
He's the establishment.
What the fuck?
It's the nature of human beings, man. That's why we need God. We always need something bigger. Because you can't trust us, man. You give us too much power and we become the thing we hate.
Or he's always been that guy and he was just playing this thing.
A little bit of that too. A little bit of that too. Yeah.
God damn it. That's fucking disappointing.
Yeah, man, but come on, man. Everybody, man. You remember when Bill Clinton was a good guy? Remember?
And the internet started flexing on him.
Yeah, man.
And then now we know he was like super predator and all this fucking shit.
Like all your heroes, man. That's just what happens, man. It's just what happens over time. You know what I mean? Joe Budden just playing his role in society.
Bernie Sanders now just
what happened with him?
Nothing, man. He don't do shit, bro. All Bernie Sanders is there for is to make people like me feel good because, oh my God, did you hear? He said something about Palestine. Yes.
Are you a Bernie guy? You were a Bernie guy? I didn't know that.
What? That I was a Bernie guy?
Yeah.
Why? Why does that surprise you? Why does that surprise you, bro?
I'm not putting you in a category, but
you are now.
No, kind of.
Yeah.
Because I said I didn't know you're a Bernie guy.
Why? What did you think?
No, I just never heard you say anything like towards Bernie or whatever. Like I didn't know.
I never post who I support anyway.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not like
I'm talking
that.
about amongst us, you know.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
we're pretty open with each other as far as like.
yeah. I don't think maybe we even had that discussion. Probably. I just don't. I just like Bernie. Listen, man. When it comes to presidents, I think it's so fucking stupid that people in America think that the president can actually do shit.
Okay.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, people like, oh, Obama, he's going to fucking get us health care. He's going to end racism. He's going to, people like literally have these ideas that the president has so much fucking power.
Yeah.
And then you got like Bernie Sanders going out there talking about we need to give everybody universal health care and free college. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up, man. He can't do that. He can't do any of that fucking shit.
Remember Ron Paul?
Yeah, I remember Ron Paul.
I
liked Ron Paul.
Ron Paul's funny. He said, I remember he said something like, they were giving him shit over legalizing drugs. Like he was saying he's legalized. Like
he wanted to legalize drugs. They were giving him shit for it.
And then he said something that was a dope applause break, but not, I don't think good in practice. He said, look, if I legalize heroin today, would you use it? Exactly. And everybody's like, applause break. And I'm like, oh, I know comedy, bro. I can get an applause break on some bullshit. That was definitely some bullshit.
Oh, you think that's bullshit?
There's going to be a lot of people using heroin.
There's a what?
There's going to be a lot of people using heroin.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yo, opioids?
I don't think so.
Opioids come on, bro.
I don't think so. I think there's a lot of people that wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, I'm one of them, so I do believe that those people exist, but opioids is definitely a, what's the word? I don't want to say pandemic. Epidemic.
It's fucking addictive. It's addictive as fuck. That's why I don't fuck with it. I don't know. I mean, listen, I know where he's coming from though. He's basically saying that, legalize it and then you get rid of the criminals because then the criminals are going to be off the fucking streets. It's going to fuck up the economy for them. Mm-hmm. Making it illegal just gives them credence to keep doing what they're fucking doing. Yeah. It's so stupid, man. Some of these laws are really dumb, man. Mm-hmm. Our approach to these laws are so fucking stupid. I'm trying to get a gun, a P365 XL. Yeah. It's a fucking nice handgun. Yeah. Have you know what kind of gun it is?
Yeah, I've seen it before.
It's a really nice gun. So it's a nice, small, compact 9mm. I want one. Out here, it's on the banned list. Why? I can't get it.
Why?
Because it's deemed dangerous.
I mean, it's a gun.
No way. Wow. You should run for fucking senator because these motherfuckers are not getting it, bro. So only some guns are deemed too dangerous.
Is it because it's like, it's not is it discreet? Is that the problem? Like,
dude, listen, bro. Maybe I need to do my research as to why. Like, no, it could be. It's a really small, nice gun. Yeah. Anyways, the point is,
are you like, oh, it's only a gun that spies use?
But this is how dumb. This is how dumb these laws are. These laws are made, like especially these liberal politicians are made to shut people up.
This is very true.
Like what I was talking about earlier, the weakest of us. Yeah. The weakest, loudest of us. Yeah. That's all. That's all it is. It's their way of going, look. 300 handguns on the banned list. I did my job.
Yeah.
But you know what you just did? You just made it harder for me to get that gun now. Yeah. You can still get the gun. You want to know how you get it?
Illegally.
No. You can get it legally. Mm-hmm. It's so fucking dumb. The only people that can buy it are law enforcement. Mm. And you can buy those banned guns secondhand. Mm. You just can't go to the gun store and buy them new. Mm. What kind of fucking law is that? So you know what that ends up doing? Now the price for that gun is three times the amount. Mm. So cops are buying all the guns and selling them for triple the fucking price.
Wow. That's a hell of a side hustle.
So my point is that these dumb laws that they fucking make are not helping anything. Yeah. It's just making it harder for someone like me, a good citizen, to get a gun that I want to get to protect myself. Yeah. And to make yourself feel better, you make a law that makes it, I can't get it from the gun store, but lo and behold, I can buy it from a cop for triple the fucking price. Yeah. You just fucked up the entire economy with a stupid law. Here's another way to get it. You know how to get it? Yeah. Your mother and your father can hand it down to you.
What?
So...
Oh, if it's in the... Yeah.
So now I'm looking into getting my mom in Michigan... to buy a P365 XL.
Okay.
And then I have a gun store over there say that she's handing it down to me. And then I have to pay for UPS to ship it to California to a gun store here. Uh-huh. And then I have to meet the gun store here and then have to sign even more documents and pay another fucking permit fee or whatever. And then now I get my gun. So basically, instead of me just buying a gun, I'm in a goddamn video game quest. I'm in a video game quest to get my fucking gun. Either like that game, The Witcher. I gotta like talk to this guy, and then I gotta go like kill his fucking ex-wife's husband, and then he's gonna give me the fucking key. And then I'm gonna take the key, and then I gotta go fight this dragon.
You talk about that?
No,
That's funny.
just to get a fucking gun, bro.
Do you have any other guns or
No, I had an AR-15.
You had an AR-15?
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
back in Michigan. But then
Yeah.
when I moved out here and I realized how ridiculous it was to keep it, and I just sold it.
Yeah, bro. But hey, there it is though. I mean,
But I never had a handgun. Never had a handgun.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But man, we should probably wrap this up, bro.
Okay.
Fuck.
What?
It's another long one.
My bad, man.
It's not your fault. I just get like that. We end up talking with people. We just keep talking and talking. Anything you want to plug before we go, bro?
Okay. I'm doing this is live, right?
Live is live. Well, it's all live right now. Yeah.
Boom. Thursday, May. What's Thursday? What's today?
Man, you a fucking idiot.
I know. 20th. Sorry, Thursday, May 20th. I'll be at Comedy Chateau. It's
Good club.
located in North Hollywood. Yeah, you just did it last night. Rock that shit. Yeah, I'll be headlining. The show's called Awkwardly Social. What else? I have a comedy special coming out that I'm working really, really hard for you guys to hear. What else is cracking? You can catch me also on Splendid Radio and Farside TV every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Just put Farside TV in on YouTube, and you can hear me be super sarcastic for about an hour and a half. What else is going on? That's it. I think I for some reason I tapped out of Facebook, so you can catch me mostly on Jeremy Comedy on IG, and yeah, that's it. If you want to support me.
Cool. And there's my stuff down there. Mike from Detroit. Follow me. I just started doing TikTok. I did a video about Palestine on TikTok. It was pretty funny, and then it got banned off of TikTok. But instead, I put it on my Instagram, so you can still see it on my Instagram Reels. And I will be Mark Ridley's Comedy Club headlining June 17th to the 19th. That's in Michigan.
Boom.
And Dayton, Ohio, I'll be headlining June 11th and 12th at Wiley's. And I think that's it. I got to get better at this.
Shit. Then
What?
you know what? Since we're going that far out, and Wiley's is dope. Yeah, June 5th through 12th, I'll be in Austin, Texas. If you give a shit. So
5th to 12th. I got to go back out there, man.
Oh man, you know it's amazing.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
It was good.
Yeah.
The crowds like you?
Man, it was honestly, man, it was like it was annoying how receptive they were, because it made me feel like I had superpowers or some weird shit. Like
I'm like that in San Diego, not in Austin.
What?
Well, because I got like pretty risky jokes.
Yeah, bro. Come on, they love that shit.
No.
I heard they were like surprisingly liberal, but I didn't experience that.
I experienced it. Austin kind of broke me.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. I couldn't crush as hard as I normally crushed because I would jerk people out of, like, so for example, if I did self-deprecating jokes, they were like, ah ha 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 ha, hilarious. Shitting on white people, ah ha ha ha, hilarious. What did you say about black people?
Wait, what?
They would get
Oh,
mad.
if you
Like,
say something about
what'd you
black-
say about women?
Oh, okay.
It was like that type of attitude. Like if I like talked about women's eyebrows, they were like, oh, I'm not gonna laugh at women jokes.
Well, guess what I talked about? Ugh. I talked about Asian people.
And that went over well.
Yeah.
Good. That's great.
But I didn't.
I got to
say
go
the-
back out there, man, because I kind of want to crack Austin, because like some of those other jokes that I was doing that works everywhere else wasn't working there.
When it kind of sucks, I already picked a date, but when you go, let me know, because I want to go with you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do it sometime.
Maybe I'll try to figure out if I can go with you. When you going?
You should.
June what?
June
5th to 12th?
5th to 12th. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll check it out.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we're gonna end this right now. Thanks for sticking with us. Follow Jeremy online. He's a funny dude. He's a cool motherfucker. We should have started talking about hip hop before we went into Palestine. This guy
know.
fucked up the whole thing.
I care.
I just want to know about Palestine.
I care. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, guys.
Sorry.
Love you very much. Thank you, and I'll see you
you,
guys Wednesday. Wednesday. I'm going live Wednesday. From now on, every Wednesday, I'm going live by myself, 2 p.m. So I'll see you guys Wednesday. Peace out.
Public Yemeni #1.